Dose of all things FSU, Pistols and Pies starts right now. Here's Jeff Cameron.
The Seminole Headlines 93.3 Real Talk Radio Warchant TV begins right now. There's Ira, there's Corey. I'm Jeff. You're you. Thanks for joining all of us listening on 93.3 and watching on Warchant TV. We really appreciate you. If you're in the Heights and Legal Law Firm chat room, hello to you as well. What's up, kiddos? How you guys doing?
A little tired, buddy. A little tired. The first week of camp is starting to wear on me a little bit. First day
it's catching up to you.
Well, maybe I may mention to some of the players, like, guys, I don't know how hard you realize we work.
Yeah.
Covering
They don't.
you guys.
They have
no idea.
No
they
idea.
Don't realize
this heat is no joke, guys.
Yeah.
They get water breaks. Do we get water breaks?
They get to walk into a frozen cooler.
Yeah. We don't get
and
to do
sit
that.
for like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
We don't do that. We're standing right underneath that sun.
Today after practice, Mrs. Alford, AD Michael Alford's wife,
brought
Laura,
cookies to the kids. She
players.
did offer us cookies.
Oh, she did? I didn't get
She offered you cookies.
Offered me cookies.
Big radio guy.
I turned the cookies down. I don't need them.
That's the right play, but they look pretty good.
They did look good. It was a slew of chocolate chip cookies for the guys, just for the people out there. And so they know, today was first day of full pads. That's a fun day. I love the first day of full pads, man. And it was a spirited one. Before we get going, yay, sausage! Take it away, Ira.
It's only fitting that we, on the first day of full pads, we're doing the headlines and celebrating sausage. We had some last night. Kim made the jambalaya, our own special recipe, a box of jambalaya.
Wow, really
with,
boring.
With some sliced up jalapeno. No, it was the andouille.
Oh, nice.
The classic andouille
okay.
that we got on the BOGO sale last week and did it up right, man. She made it. It was ready right at the time we were going to go do the smash. And so she's like, are you got time to eat? And I was like, I don't think so. I'm rushing. We got to do the smash.
Yeah.
And so she's like, all right, well, we'll eat afterwards. And then like 10 seconds later, she hears me rummaging around in the kitchen. And she's like, what are you doing?
Trying to get some food.
I was stealing some of the andouille chunks from the jambalaya,
and
putting it on a sandwich, a hamburger roll.
Just
Little
stealing.
snack.
You ate a sausage sandwich?
Man.
You're like a sausage burger?
Got me through, though. It was
Okay.
awesome.
That's how good that sausage is. Your man will steal from the rest of the families.
Just eat the sausage. You didn't need to add bread into the equation.
I mean, I'm not trying to have your body, Corey.
Oh, so it wasn't a body
It was
thing.
a sandwich.
It's
It's a
more of a
sandwich.
snack.
He
I
wanted a
wanted you to still
sandwich.
have an appetite after.
I like the bread, too.
Yeah,
But
okay,
anyway,
all right.
registermeats.com is the website. If you don't live in this part of the country, if you live in this part of the country and it's expanding nonstop, check your local grocery store, see if they have it. If they don't have it, talk to the meat manager. And if you live outside of this area, go to registermeats.com, have it ordered, shipped to you fresh and delicious. You need it for this football season.
Somebody bring some to Ireland.
Ooh, that's a good
Can
idea.
that get through
Is
customs?
Ben
Can
coming?
you get through sausage?
I would imagine Ben is
I
making
think I
his
have
way
a pretty
to
good
Ireland.
chance. I don't know. If
I
Jeff
got
will get
zero
through.
chance. Apparently, I look like a terrorist
Jeff
because they stopped me and took honey.
Yeah.
Honey.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you never know what that is.
My kids are still using their ocean.
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear
But
it.
yes, if somebody can get some to Ireland, come and find us wherever we are, and we'll give you a shout out.
He did let me keep the Teeling whiskey, if you recall.
That was nice.
Yeah, he was like, well, if I were you, I would just keep the Teeling whiskey and let me take the honey. I'm like, you don't have to take the honey. What are we talking about
His
here?
wife greatly appreciated that honey.
Oh, I'm sure. That guy's rich.
Slathered
He
all over.
He makes $30,000 a year, and he's rich
Stuff
because he
he's
just
stealing.
steals from foreigners coming back from Ireland who are helpless to do anything about it.
Don't accuse our friends from Ireland.
I love Ireland. I love the fine people of Ireland. That guy's a thief.
Yeah.
He
Honey
put that
thief.
in his car, and he was like, oh, this honey's delicious. That poor bastard.
We got to talk to DJU today after practice, Corey. You had already bailed, so I don't know. Did you get to watch it?
I did not. No, I didn't have time.
I felt like it was a lengthy conversation, too. If I were DJ, I'd have been like, all right, fellas.
Yeah, it was kind of like it evolved into, all right, now tell us about the running backs.
Yeah.
Now tell us about the tight ends.
Oh,
and
was
the
it his comment?
What do you think of the offensive line?
line?
Yeah.
all right.
Are those new shoes?
What did he say about the receivers?
He talked up a few guys, but basically somebody asked him specifically about Kentron and Ja'Kai because they had good practices. Mike Norvell singled them out. He also, I don't know if you watched Norvell's video, but he mentioned that Sunday was not a great day for Ja'Kai, which I think you had written about in your observations. Correct. But then the last 2 days, he's really come back.
It's like
strong.
he had the yips, and then he's been great the last 2 days.
Yeah.
He's been Ja'Kai. Not even. He's just been what he's always been. He was weird that one day.
So I think he was asked about those guys, and he talked them up a little bit. But he said, but all the receivers, DJ's one of those. He's going to spread the love.
Yeah, he's a pro, man.
Yeah, he's
a pro. He's heard it all. He's been asked a million questions. You can tell he understands that That's not the forum to start ripping people.
Right.
Yeah, that would have been kind of weird, right?
Or he just like leaving a couple of guys out, and they're going to notice, why did my quarterback talk about me? So it's
a big receiving core. What are you going to name everybody?
It is a big receiving core. The in our post practice wrap that Jeff and I did.
Is that on the site as we talk? As we speak?
It
probably in the rain. We did it in the rain.
Yeah.
Oh, all right, guys.
You should have seen what we did today.
Go through a lot.
But and Aslan maybe a little bit more than us, but Jeff brought up you'd see DJ kind of coaching up some of the younger guys sometimes today, and one of the things I was going to mention from my observations was I saw Darius Washington a couple of times pull like Manasseh Tite. I'm not sure how to pronounce his last name.
Close,
number 70, a freshman. It was just cool to see him like pull a kid aside and nobody's telling him to do that.
Right.
Like you see the older guys coaching the younger guys, especially at this time of camp. It's always good to see.
We saw that. It was right in front of us with Azarie and Charles Lester, where it was like probably
really
a 30-second conversation.
Yeah, told him to think.
And he's doing like a motion of what a receiver would do. Azarie is like pantomiming it and then explaining this is what you should be looking for, and then patting him on the head like almost the Temple. Think about what they're going to do here, and then patted him on the butt as they walk back off the field.
Norvell actually pointed out or singled out Charles Lester today. Said compared to where he was in the spring to where he is now, it's completely different. He's come a long way.
Could be a good one. He's long, lengthy.
Yeah, they've got a ton of talent in the secondary, and every day Ricky Knight does something where we're like, "Oh,
is it the third? Is he the third? Ricky Knight the third?
Yeah.
Third, fourth,
somewhere
in there.
But I've been really impressed with him.
I had an observation that in the wrap where Ira and I were talking, Corey, that both if you combine offense and defense, they got a ton of either new players like true freshmen or transfers that really impress you on the regular. Like, so for example, if I was going to say transfer, like Cam Riley's impressive.
Yeah.
Very impressive. You can grab more than a handful, I think, of the freshman players. You got a tight end, you've got a receiver, you've got a running back, you've got, DB. So, and Ira had asked the question to him, to Coach Norvell, it's pretty obvious you've got an influx of a lot of talent, a lot of special young players. How quickly, what's the challenge there? How quickly can you get them to be ready to play in a game, in essence, is what he's asking. And I thought, his answer was interesting, that you can clearly see that talent. They flash all the time, but then when they succeed, you got to throw something else at them, and see what they can handle.
Yeah, he's like, when we start the games, I can't go out there with them.
Yeah,
like the position coaches aren't. So it's constantly. And I thought one thing he said, I think, was subtly letting us know that, hey man, we're challenging these guys. It's not like they're not getting the basics. Like, because he goes, we're creating difficult situations for them to see how they'll handle them in a game. So sometimes when we see those growing pains, again, it's not just that they haven't been studying all summer. They're throwing new wrinkles at them all the time.
They also do a ton of mixing lineups.
Oh my gosh.
Like where you're having, DJ's throwing to LaWayne McCoy. And then sometimes Cromanhawk is throwing to LaWayne McCoy. And Amari Williams is getting some run with higher up the depth chart.
Makai Danzy's even bouncing around
a lot. They do it on the defensive side of the ball too, where you'll see Ricky Knight out there when Josh Farmer's on the field. They're mixing and matching, letting all these guys play with all different kinds of guys and getting. So it's not just Ricky Knight going up against walk-on receivers. He's going up against the best you got sometimes. It's really cool to see.
I think that's part of the overall raising of the floor of talent. They feel good
because I don't remember them doing
that.
They
didn't do it as much.
Yeah,
they didn't do it as much because they knew those guys couldn't play.
Yeah, I don't know that I don't know. It's interesting. Like last year, also you had more proven guys probably in the start last year. I'm just thinking back to last year. That's probably as far back as I can remember. But last year, even if you had talented, like you knew, like Conrad Hussey and I like that when Joseph Alaf, we like some of those young DBs. But you knew there wasn't going to be a whole lot of opportunities to get on the field. Now there were for Hussey because Akeem Dent got hurt a little bit, but for the most part, those guys weren't going to get a lot of opportunities. This year, there are more possibilities for playing time. There's not as many sure things as there were a year ago. And Cam Riley's a good example, obviously, because he's coming in as a fifth-year senior, and Norvell mentioned that DJ Lundy's been limited, so he's getting a ton of reps and producing.
Yeah, I do. It's interesting to hear Mike talk about, we can't go on the field with them, which we all know, but that's his way of like, all right, to get to where they have to go, it can't be that they flash like you guys see on a Tuesday or a Wednesday. I got to know that I can put him out there and the guy knows what's happening because things go wrong. Plays break down. Other side's on scholarship too. You gotta know how they're going to react before you could ever decide, hey, I know they're talented and I'd love to showcase that, but I don't know that I can trust that they're ready to go just yet. It will be fascinating for us to, we get to document it. This is the beauty of having access to practice. We'll know there's only so much we can say, but we'll have a pretty good idea, I would think, by the end of the camp, who they trust enough to throw into a game. And I wonder if it'll be any of those guys for week one. I would guess yes, that there's a couple of guys that are freshmen that might get into a game in week one. But maybe not nearly as many as it seems like there would be based on who flashes on a daily basis.
You think you can get away with some of these guys that won't know everything? Like,
well, you got packages you can put
and especially like in week one. Like I think later in the year, other teams will have their scouting report and they'll say, okay, they're bringing in this guy. He's a freshman. He's only done this thing.
This is what he does.
This is what he does, and it's easier to scout. Georgia Tech's not going to have any advantage of that.
Right.
So you feel like maybe they could do a little bit more of that because some of the skill in that freshman class is really impressive. And, going from Amari Williams, Lane McCoy, Mekhi Danzy. I mean, there's a bunch of guys that you have veterans that are players. But like I thought it was cool yesterday. David Johnson was talking about Mekhi Danzy, and he said even Lawrence Toafili has come to him and said, "Yeah, man, that kid's better than I was."
Further along, yeah.
And so, yeah, they need to get some of those guys on the field if they can.
It's easy to fall in love with that kid, isn't it?
Man.
I mean, Danzy.
Yeah.
That for our listeners, without us revealing anything other than like physical, what we see, that dude is fast, stupid fast.
Yeah.
This team is so much
Danzy
faster than last year's team.
Danzy's going to be able to get to the hizzy.
Danzy to the hizzy?
Yeah. You're going to have to work on whatever you're going to work on there with it.
Yeah,
that ain't going to work.
But
I mean, that's fine. It's fine. It's fun to say.
Be a really good nickname out there for Danzy. I mean, that's got to be. That's just nothing's coming on my mind right now. But I got 2 hours.
But unlike you, I'm not just going to spit it out on the air.
What is say it?
I'm not.
Why?
He's a Danzy.
Yeah,
that's
a Danzy.
Yeah, you like that? You like that?
That's all right.
It's
It's
okay.
not
Hey, no, we're on the fly. We're just throwing things. We're spitballing,
Apparently,
guys.
Ira has a great one that he's keeping to himself.
It's probably not a great one.
Maybe you should reveal it in a full story.
I had to do it hour number 2
on the fly.
On the fly last week. I feel like you could do a day. You could just give us a Danzy.
Danzy the Manzy is what Hayden Guy gives us on the
Oh, that's not yours though?
No.
Danzy the Manzy's not
pretty
bad.
good. Yeah.
I like Danzy the Manzy.
I would wonder.
Fine and Danzy we got.
Oh, Fine and Danzy. Is that coming in right now?
Yeah,
Here we go. Yeah, Fine and Danzy, Danzy the Manzy. Okay, I like it. This guy A Wright wants you to do stand up, Corey. If what happens if DJU wins the Heisman?
Stand up. What is that? Oh, like an hour, like a comedy show.
I don't. That's not your forte.
No, I mean I got some jokes.
No, you're a funny guy, but like that's not your forte.
I don't sit down and write. I don't have an hour yet.
Yeah, you don't have an hour.
About 20 minutes.
I don't even think you have that.
No,
You're an off the cuff quip funny guy, as
2
opposed to like right now. I wouldn't show up.
Yeah, you're
that
right.
actually was what Preston Simpson in the chat said. Corey, if DJ wins the Heisman, will you do a 30-minute stand-up comedy set at Corner Pocket?
No,
just among your friends in the CP.
No.
I would rather sing, I can't sing.
I'd like to advise him not to do that.
I would dance for 30 minutes as opposed to get up there and tell jokes.
But off the cuff, it'd be great.
Dancing?
No, telling jokes, just making little quips here and there. Those
making fun of people. I just do my crowd work.
That's your forte.
I do my crowd work
at
Corner Pocket. Look at this guy.
Yeah.
What's he drinking here? Yeah, all that stuff.
7 minutes.
Somebody work at the Marlboro factory.
We are out. Yeah. No. Hey, so here's the thing. Are we at the stage of camp already where we're just overly enamored and we got to check ourselves to go back to last Tuesday or Thursday? It was actually Thursday that we did the show. Because Ira, last time you wanted us to pull the reins back.
Well, just,
I feel like we're all really positive. I think we're all very positive right now. Is that a little much? Are we over the top?
No, it's fair. And I find myself asking myself the question during practice. I'm sure you guys do as well. Like after every nice run, you're like, okay, well, what happened there?
Yeah, who was on the field?
Yeah, on defense. Why did that hole get open? So you're constantly doing that. Now, sometimes when sometimes it's a great throw, great catch, pretty good coverage, and everybody
just things happen. Everybody wins.
But sometimes it's not, and it's harder on the running plays, man. It's hard. Even with thank goodness they've got that video replay board.
Love the video
where
replay
we can
board.
go back and
you
try
can
to
see
figure
exactly
it out.
who did what.
But man, it's even with that, sometimes it can be a challenge because you don't know exactly what defender was supposed to set the edge.
Yeah.
And some of those things are just difficult. So yeah, I mean, I think that's fair. I am more bullish on this team, I think, than I was coming into camp, but I do feel we do need to check ourselves.
I always think that it goes one of two ways. You're either over the top, I don't mean you specifically, just us, all of us, we're either over the top because of maybe something we saw on that day or the day before with the expectations and the joy of like, that guy's a good player, they're going to get something out of this kid or whatever it might be, or you're too far the other way. Like, oh man, I just don't see that second receiver developing, and who's really going to be any good at linebacker? Is this team any good at all? Yeah. Like, you're easily, all of us, we can talk ourselves into they're going 13-0 again, and you can talk yourself into, man, I don't know. We only see this team. We don't get to see what Clemson does. We don't get to see what Miami's doing. We don't get to see what all their competition does. What if they're average? What if they've lost so much experience and so many reps and things don't go as well as we thought, and they're not able to run the ball the way we thought? Then they're 8-4. You know, it's like, we're rarely measured. I think it's kind of hard.
If somebody asked you guys off the air tonight, talking to friends over drinks, somebody said, who's ahead, the offensive line or defensive line? What would you guys say?
Oh, that's a good question.
The O-line.
That's what I would say too.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm starting to be like, well, that's probably not great. I mean,
or it could be awesome.
It could be.
Yeah, it
could be a little
great
concerning.
Sign. Yeah. Well, that's the thing about this, right? Yeah.
If you gauge it by the way that the coaches react to questions about the offensive line, or the way the quarterback did, or the running backs do, there seems to be some versatility, I can say that, to the fact that they're all excited about the offensive line. Like, everybody on this team, when they get asked, whether it's a coach, an assistant coach, a player at any segment, they all get excited about the offensive line. So, like, we wouldn't be the guilty ones over overhyping the offensive line. They're pumped about their offensive line.
Yeah, and I know Patrick Payton's a good player. I know Josh Farmer's a good player. I think Darrell Jackson will be a good player when we see him in games. I believe Marvin Jones Jr. and Siona Little. Like, I believe those guys are good players. So my perception would be that if I was putting money on it, I'd say it's a better sign for the offensive line. And it's not like they're dominating, but if you had to, I'd say maybe it's 57-43 or 55-45, somewhere in there.
It's also like hard when it comes me be down on the field. It just, if you guys could be down on the field for these practices or games, and it's like, it's amazing to me when you're down on the field. When you watch it from up high, you're like, what's the quarterback doing there? You got all the time in the world.
Man, the speed
is incredible when you're down. Like, it looks like every time they take a snap, they're engulfed. And it's like, how do they, none of them just curl in the field? Like, well, they're all coming at me.
Because they play quarterback
I know,
a lot.
but it's like, what is that, 2,000 pounds coming at it? And so that to me is like, I do think when you're down on the field, you do get an idea of, they're going to be hard to block in passing situations. You know what I mean? I think they do get a good pass rush consistently, and they're having to get rid of the ball quick. But part of that also, like I said, might be my vantage point of, oh my God, throw it. He's already on your face. He's in your face. The ball was just snapped. Like, it's so sped up when you're down on the field. It looks like they're always engulfed in pass pro.
But it's so different from what it used to be.
Yeah.
And so I think DJ's got to feel pretty good about it. I feel like and I asked him about it. He said he definitely does. He feels like the line's giving him great protection.
It seemed genuine when he answered it. Yeah, I thought so too. I think he is pleased with that. By the way, I think we might have our winner here. We got to give credit where credit's due before we go to break.
I've been trying to think of one.
Dave writes, Dansmanian Devil.
Okay, it's not bad. It's not bad.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
The Dansmanian Devil. Do you see it up on your screen right there? You don't have the screen, but that might be good.
Yeah, I was wondering if there's something with Mackay.
Yeah, but there's a lot of Mackay. Well, there's not a lot of Mackays.
There's some Mackays.
Yeah, buddy, we can do it with all of it. I'm just trying. Danzy seems like it's more gettable.
Yeah,
I can come up with a better nickname for Danzy, but nothing's coming to me right now.
All right.
Somebody threw out their Danzy Swanson.
I like Dansmanian Devil.
That's probably the leader right now. Until Ira tells us what he's sitting on.
Yeah, well, maybe during the break we can coax it out of him.
Not Danzy the Manzy? Okay, all right.
Seminole Headlines, 93.3 Real Talk Radio. Warchant TV continues in a moment. Howdy, folks. Jeff Cameron here to tell you about my friends at Dexafit Tallahassee. What is Dexafit, you might ask? Well, it's where you want to go if you're looking to elevate your health and fitness journey. Dexafit's exclusive services include AI-enhanced body scans, VO2 max fit testing, and RMR metabolism analysis to provide detailed insights into your body composition, cardiovascular fitness, and metabolic well-being. Sounds like a lot of science, but that's because it is the most advanced science available. In fact, that's a good thing, right? Dexafit gives you immediate detailed insights about your body composition, provides a customized plan to improve on troubled areas, delivered in an easy to navigate mobile app so you can share the information with your trainer or even your doctor to find the most direct path to your peak health. Check out DexaFit Tallahassee, the most accurate and most state-of-the-art body composition scanning and fitness planning available. Located on Capitol Circle Northeast, directly next to Bumpus. Check them out online at DexaFit.com and tell them Jeff Cameron sent you. DexaFit Tallahassee. Know your body and transform your life.
Barry knows cool. He's keeping you comfortable. Barry knows cool. You can put him to the test. Barry knows heating and air conditioning. Keeping you comfortable. Here's what Barry does best.
No matter how busy life gets, your home is the place where your family and friends show you they care and celebrate with you. That's why the professionals at Barano Heating and Air Conditioning always make sure your home is comfortable. Just like those who matter to you most, Barano will always be there for you.
This is Tyler from Barano Heating and Air. Now you can schedule an appointment, purchase or renew your service agreement, or pay your bill from your mobile device. Any day, anytime, anywhere. When you turn to the experts at Carrier and Barano Heating and Air, online at baranoac.com.
Florida license number CAC 1816186.
Barry knows heating and air conditioning.
There's fun to be had every night at the Corner Pocket. Take-home prizes on Trivia Tuesdays and Beer Bingo Thursdays. And kickstart your weekend with Martini Fridays. Plus, happy hour runs every weekday and game day specials every time the Noles take the field. Watch all the best games at the Corner Pocket's Vegas Wall, featuring 560 inches of flat-screen TV heaven.
Oh, really?
The best food, the best drinks, and the best place to watch all the games. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
I occasionally have nerve discomfort in my hands, so the things I love to do
Let's play something, Grandma.
became difficult as I got older.
If you have occasional stabbing and burning in your hands and feet, try Nervive Nerve Relief. Nervive's clinically studied dose of alpha-lipoic acid reduces occasional nerve discomfort in as little as 7 days with continued daily use. Say yes to healthy nerves with Nervive Nerve Relief. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Ooh, I'm so ready for this weekend away with my girl.
Hey, hit the road? How about some free gas?
Free gas? How?
Try new Febreze car for some serious freshness and you can win gas for a full year. Visit Febreze.com to learn more.
Say less.
You may not win, but you're gonna have a fresh smelling whip.
Thanks, DJ Fresh. Now how about some music?
Hey, yo, this next one goes out to new Febreze car for giving you a chance to win free gas.
La 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 la.
No purchase necessary. Must be 18 to enter in 73124 for rules and how to enter. Visit Febreze.com.
Life is stressful. Dinner shouldn't be. That motto is why Register Sausage has been doing business in the Florida Panhandle and Lower Alabama for over 75 years. A proud sponsor of Seminole Headlines, Register Sausage always provides the best Southern smoked sausage to over 140 grocery stores and restaurants throughout the Southeast. Headliners have discovered the Register's difference. You can too. To find a store that carries Registers near you or to buy directly, head to registermeats.com. That's registermeats.com. Register Sausage. Yay, sausage!
Seminole Headlines returns now. Head to YouTube and search for Warchant TV today to catch the show live or on demand. Now, here's Jeff Cameron, Ira Schofel, and Corey Clark.
We had a question in the chat about the extra coaches being out there, or the coaches, the assistants having an opportunity to do more coaching, the analysts and the like. Man, it gives me a chance to shout out. I had a chance to shake Ernie Sims' hand today and say hello. Two things stand out. First of all, when I shake his hand, I'm reminded that he did play in the NFL and played more than 100 games. And like, he doesn't seem like he's trying, but it feels like he could shatter my forearm with his handshake. It's a ridiculous handshake. So good on you, Ernie. And then secondly, my man loves being a football coach, loves being out there. He's smiling ear to ear. He is having so much fun. He's in the cleats. He's in the cleats.
I was mad I didn't get video of it, but I'm going to do it next practice. I think on Thursday. Mm-hmm. He when they're doing their warm-ups or stretch and try.
He's doing it with them. He does it with them. And then, he's soaking wet, sweating like he's practicing. I teased him about it today. But the point is, his enthusiasm is very much infectious. And I do think he's going to add something to that room, to that staff. And there are other guys like him. I'm pointing it out. I'm partial to Ernie. I know him. But, it is fun to watch. Their guys are getting coached everywhere all the time now. That's the one thing that kind of stands out. They have the ability to like, no play has to end without somebody hearing something from somebody.
You wonder if sorry to get you off topic, but I wonder if there's somebody on the staff. Would Odell tell the players about Ernie as a player, or does Ernie have to put on his own highlights? Because those guys, they wouldn't know Ernie Sims as a player. But I mean, he's not like he's not Dion, or Marvin,
but he was a first round
great,
pick,
and he was all American. How did they? Does somebody who's educating them?
I hope Norvell does. Maybe Norvell would be
pops in some
pops in just
footage.
like 5 clips. Like, look at this.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy?
Here's him send this kid from Georgia Tech to the hospital.
Right. Well, here's what's crazy is there's no chance the kids know who he is unless they go on the internet, because my man played his first year in the league 18 years ago.
Yeah.
Think
How
about
that, dude. Anton Smith was at practice yesterday. He signed in 2005.
19 years ago. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like those kids, many of those kids are 18 years old. They were being born the year Ernie debuted in the NFL.
But you know what they do know is they know a football player.
And they know he was one.
Yesterday at practice, even just Anton Smith, he was standing there, and there were 2 recruits there, and they were standing to the side, and they looked back, and they just look around who's around them. And they looked at him, and you could see him trying to look at his name tag.
Oh yeah, to look
because they could tell that dude's a player.
Dude probably played. Yeah. Well, that's the thing about guys that played in the league for a long time. Unless they're offensive linemen who let themselves or defensive linemen who let themselves go afterwards. Even at 55, they look like they played in the NFL. You can see it.
Derek Brooks still looks like he probably was a good athlete back in the day.
Yeah. Seems like he might have played some ball at some point. Yeah.
Hey, can we give some love to?
Let me grab my hat. You got yours, Corey?
Yeah. So Ken the Carver, you guys know Ken the Carver. He's the one that made the plaques.
He's kind of become a character on the show.
All the woodwork.
He's the 4th member of Seminole Headlines.
He did a plaque for Corey's question, I think. Did he do one for that?
Yep.
He's done them for the different things we've come up through the years. He's added to the collection in honor of the Ireland trip. He's made us these Ireland hats with a little woodwork on the back, a little Seminole Headlines logo.
Yeah, I got mine on now. Yeah, I got the Jeff Cameron Show logo on it. Now I wear these during the wintertime anyhow.
I'm not putting mine on, but Ken, I appreciate it greatly.
How's
Thank you
this
so
look
much.
on me?
Great.
No.
That actually doesn't look terrible.
Not for a normal hat.
I was making assumptions that it would.
You look like you might be playing bass for Fleetwood Mac's reunion band.
Okay, that's the
look you're a traveling mimic band of Fleetwood. Yeah,
I can do that.
You're at a local country club in Sarasota.
We're Fleetwood Mick.
Yeah, and you're coming out. Yeah, you're coming out like, hey, great to
Mick.
see you guys. You guys ready to hear everything off of rumors? All right, here we go. All right, let's do it.
I like it.
All right, I'll keep it.
Good.
I don't care.
Good luck. Yours, I think, has the
nobody will know I'm bald.
An FSU, they'll never know. An FSU logo. He's got the Jeff Cameron logo, and we got a Seminole Headlines.
We got a Seminole Headline. Thank you, Ken.
Thanks, Ken.
When we're over in Ireland, the 3 of us will have those hats on in front of St. James Gate, going in for a nice cold Guinness.
That's 3 weeks away, by the way.
Can you believe it?
Like, I'll be on a plane 3 weeks and a day from today. I'll be on a plane, and hopefully it lands.
You're already
safely.
I can see the
they
anxiety.
all land. That's the thing about planes. They all land
somewhere.
You want them to land safely with the wheels.
They don't just go up to heaven gently.
Magically.
Except for that Malaysia Air one.
We figured it out. We figured it out. The Netflix stock also sucked.
It wasn't great.
Yeah. But by the way, the plane will land and you'll be fine. But I can feel and see the anxiety wash over you when you talk about 3 weeks from today, you're going to be on a plane.
Yeah. Football's going to be here in 3 weeks. I don't care about that. I'm going to be on a plane risking my life for
the job.
Have you guys played out the game in your head?
I mean, I've just the challenge, some of the challenges of it, just trying to, especially when we were at ACC kickoff last week, listening to Brent Key talk up, man, every coach should love their quarterback as much as he loves his quarterback.
Man.
He's talking him up. And so, I do think that's going to be somewhat of a challenge when they're on offense. It'll be good to see what this defense looks like. But yeah, man, when I look at this running game and I look at this offense and I think of what Georgia Tech's defense looked like a year ago, it's hard to see them getting a lot of stops.
At the end of last year, when Georgia Tech ended up becoming bowl eligible, winning 7 games, you had to give Brent Key credit. He was one of the better coaches in the league to turn it around that quickly.
They also hung with Georgia.
They hung with Georgia.
Georgia.
They did a bunch of interesting things that made you that piqued your interest. And I remember at the end of last year thinking, I thought Florida State was going to beat them by 40 when the game was announced. And now I'm not so sure. But as we get closer, I'm feeling better and better that I think this defense is going to be very good. Mm-hmm. And if it's very good, you're negating the one strength that Georgia Tech has, which is an improved offense and a 1,000-yard rusher from a year ago back at running back. That young man's impressive and a nice kid, fun to talk to in Charlotte. But, man, if they're not able to run the ball, And I have a suspicion a lot of teams are going to struggle to run the ball against Florida State. If that's the case, buddy, this could be the ugly blowout that I was hoping. And I just playing it out in my head, just trying to put it all together. I just don't know about the rusts. And, that's the other thing. Anytime you watch football overseas, like when you watch the NFL in London, they're always slipping. Everybody slips all over the place. I don't know what it is about the grass in Europe, but nobody can get it right for American football because people just slide away out there all the time. I wonder what that's going to be like. Now, we've watched the games at Aviva, and I don't know if I remember a bunch of people falling over, but it seems like anytime I watch American football abroad, the turf is a problem. Like, pack a bunch of different types of cleats, guys.
They need American grass is what they need, Corey.
Yeah. Can we
Kentucky bluegrass, send it on over. Send it on over so we make sure we're not all falling down.
I don't know, man. I don't know if I can get there on the blowout stuff because I just don't know.
Come on, Ira. I'm here for you. I'll talk you into it.
Where I have pause still is the fact that, again, I see this running game look good for Florida State's offense, but then I wonder, okay, well, how's this defense going to be against the run? Now, I will say, I do like some of the flashes we've seen from Cam Riley at linebacker. I mean, he can snuff something out and get there pretty quickly. Obviously, Blake Nicholson's athletic, and we like the secondary. It should be good. There's no reason it shouldn't be good. Adam Fuller's done a really good job. His staff has done a really good job. They should be good on defense. It's weird to me to see the running game looking good this early in a camp.
Makes you nervous.
A little bit, but it could just be a testament to how well they're playing.
I'll tell you, on a Tuesday in late July, I'm feeling ass kicking, guys.
All right.
Okay, good, man. You're feeling it.
I mean, if the game was tomorrow, look out, Georgia
Tech would have no chance.
No. Might be 50-7.
Touchdown late against your third
and fourth stringers out there. We're even playing that walk-on that gets run sometimes out there in the secondary.
Yeah.
I feel like but the game's not played tomorrow, guys. I don't know if you know that. Not played tomorrow. So it could be 2 weeks from now, and I'm like, guys, this is 16 all in the fourth.
It was.
I reserve the right.
Yeah. That's kind of where I see it. I think it will be. I think Georgia Tech's certainly not a pushover. And I do think that I think they're going to play. You look at that schedule, it ain't like you look at that schedule and go, oh, those are all blowouts. Like, no. It's like Cal maybe at Duke on a Friday night, maybe.
No.
Obviously Charleston Southern. All the rest, they could be all one-score games in the fourth quarter. In fact, I expect them to be one-score
I've got a group
games.
text with some buddies who may be watching this, might be listening to this.
Yeah.
And one of them said, is this team going to be good this year? Just asking the group. And I said, yeah, they're going to be good. But I do think
bunch of close games,
just that there's going to be tougher games than there were a year ago. I just think there are 3 or 4 games, four games probably that if you don't play well, you can definitely lose. And I didn't feel that way last year.
Oh, yeah. If you don't play well against SMU, you don't play well against Memphis, you don't play well against Clemson.
And none of those are going to be
Miami, Notre Dame, Georgia. You can go on and on.
I mean, Georgia
Tech is what I was going to finish. But yeah, like I suppose more than 4. If you don't play well, probably 5 or 6. Yeah, you could lose. Seminole Headlines 93.3 Real Talk Radio Warchant TV continues in a moment.
Your local news now.
A man is behind bars for his connection to a shooting that left one person hurt earlier this month. According to the Leon County Sheriff's Office, Brian Lamar Dickey, 46 years old, is facing charges for a shooting that happened on July 17th. The victim was taken to the hospital and is in stable condition. The shooting happened along Bluntstown and Park Lawn Streets. He was arrested by U.S. Marshals Wednesday while in the Leon County Detention Facility on 2 unrelated counts of failure to report as a sex offender. Back-to-school shopping season is in full swing across Florida. Starting today, families can buy several back-to-school items tax-free. This includes clothing, shoes, and book bags costing $100 or less, school supplies like pens, pencils, notebooks, and other items that cost $50 or less, and laptops costing $1,500 or less. It is projected to save shoppers a little more than $97 million. This is Rachel Lene with your Real Talk 93.3 Local News Update, brought to you by Macklemore Systems, Tallahassee's go-to Mac store. Check them out online at MacklemoreSystems.com.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. A heat advisory continues until 8 p.m. tonight. Sunshine mixed with clouds at times this afternoon with thunderstorms likely. Daytime highs approaching 94. Winds out of the north around 5 miles per hour. Partly cloudy tonight. Chance for storms. Lows dip down to about 75. This report is brought to you by the Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Right now, 92.
Feeling hungry but don't want to leave the house? Download the Foodies Takeout and Delivery app and earn points and rewards on every order while supporting local at the same time. Other food deliveries like DoorDash and Uber Eats are taking upwards of 20 to 30% directly out of our local restaurants' pockets, while Foodies does not. Keep money local and support your favorite local restaurants such as El Jalisco, Gordo's, Jerry's, Smitty's Tap House, and many more. Download the free app today and start earning your rewards instantly. Just search for Foodies Takeout and Delivery in any app store or order online at foodiestakeout.com.
Hey, this is for my homeowner friends out there. You know who you are. When you get your grass cut, you're going to inspect the work, make sure it's good, get your house painted, check around every corner and edge, make sure that's done right, get a new roof, got to get eyes on those shimmering new shingles. Get your septic tank cleaned. Bet you're not popping your head down in there to take a look around. You got to trust it's done right. I'll make it easy. Go see my friend Greg Miller Septic. They're my guys. I trust them, and you can too. MillerSeptic.com. That's it. That's the commercial. That's the whole thing. Check them out. That's MillerSeptic.com.
Life is stressful. Dinner shouldn't be. That motto is why Register Sausage has been doing business in the Florida Panhandle and Lower Alabama for over 75 years. A proud sponsor of Seminole Headlines, Register Sausage always provides the best Southern smoked sausage to over 140 grocery stores and restaurants throughout the Southeast. Headliners have discovered the Register's difference. You can too. To find a store that carries Registers near you or to buy directly, head to registermeats.com. That's registermeats.com. Register Sausage. Yay, sausage!
Seminole Headlines returns now. Head to YouTube and search for Warchant TV today to catch the show live or on demand. Now, here's Jeff Cameron, Ira Schofel, and Corey Clark.
P. Simpson said, I'd love to see us play like adults and just kick somebody's ass, no screwing around, winning 20-17. But I will tell you, P. Simpson, Florida State 45, LSU 24, Florida State 66, Southern Miss 13. Boston College was criminally terrible in the second half, but we know there were many reasons for that. We win 31-29. You beat Clemson, not expected to blow them out. Virginia Tech, Florida State 39-17. That game was over in the first half.
That's not true, though. That's the problem with that game. It was 22-0, and then it was 22-17 in the third quarter.
22-0. The game was over.
That quarterback, they weren't ready for that quarterback.
Yeah, they were not. Agreed.
But
that game got closer than it needed to be because they kind of took their foot off the gas, which is what happened against Boston College.
So my point was they did take their foot off the gas. Had they not, that is a blowout. They still win 39-17.
Yeah. Sure.
It's an easy win. 41-3 over Syracuse. You're going to say that was closer than the score?
Okay, because it wasn't.
It wasn't. And 38-20, maybe you could make the argument there over Duke that it was closer than the score.
They were down in the fourth quarter.
There you go.
Those aren't blowouts.
That's a much better argument.
But I'm saying like the Virginia Tech game, you felt like you were in control.
It was 22-0. That was a crazy play at the end of the half.
You're up by 5 points.
Yeah.
So, and crazy stuff happens in sports. And the point being, I felt like they took their foot off the gas that game, just like they did against BC. And then against Miami and Duke, I don't think they played well. Duke, they played well in the fourth quarter. In Miami, I didn't feel like they played well at all the whole game. And those are close games. And that was a better team.
But also, you got to go back to look. It's funny, when you go back and look at the individual stats for like Keon Coleman, Jaheim Bell, even to some degree Johnny Wilson, like in the second half of the year, they're just not the same guys
at all.
Well, Johnny didn't play at all. Those games.
Yeah. And Keon's numbers and Jaheim's numbers went off a cliff.
Jaheim basically got hurt early in the season and never recovered. We know that you had ankle injuries all throughout that receiving corps.
So I just don't know that it's I think there's a perception, and I felt this way at times too during that season. Like, why aren't they putting these teams away? Well, if the team that played against LSU was playing in those games, they probably would have.
Yeah, and also they beat Wake 41-16. They beat the Pitt game was close for a while.
It was close because they didn't have the quarterback and all that. And North Alabama was horrible until Jordan got hurt.
Yeah, that North Alabama game was the game that probably made me the angriest.
Yeah, because you feel like Jordan even ran.
He wouldn't have run.
They were down 10-0 and looking for a spark. But I brought this up on Wake Up Warchant. I think the best stretch of Mike Norvell's career here is starting with the Georgia Tech game in 2022 for a month. They beat the bejesus out of Georgia Tech, and this was after a 3-game losing streak, and then went on the road and outscored Miami and Syracuse 81-6 or whatever it was. Like that was blowout, no chance football for those other teams. But I don't think that's the reality. I think last year is more of the reality. Like, if you fart around with Virginia Tech for too much longer, you might be trailing in the fourth quarter. Like,
by the way, the Virginia Tech team ended up being better,
pretty good.
And that was the thing. They found that quarterback and what he could do right then and there. That week, it was like they started to see signs of it the week before, and then it was for real.
At 22-0, you're like, okay, this is, and it didn't look like they belonged, but then that kid became a problem. I agree with that.
So I just think that it's going to be a lot of hand wringing in the second halves of these games because it's just college football in general, man. You don't blow teams out anymore. There's less plays. There's more parity. And you're not going to be winning a lot of games by 4 touchdowns.
This schedule,
it's a hard schedule.
Yeah, I was going to say we agree for maybe different reasons. I think part of that is absolutely fair to say that the less plays part is especially true. But this schedule's harder.
It was all true, right, Ira?
All
of it. 100%. Thank you.
This schedule's harder. That's the better point to make. I mean, to me. Yeah. I mean, on the road at Notre Dame, obviously on the road at Miami. Clemson's good no matter where you play him. You play him here. Obviously, that's all difficult. In Memphis, a lot of people think it's going to be the G5 champ, the best of the G5. SMU, you're on the road. They're a pretty good football team. Lashley's a good coach. He'll dial up a play. I mean, that guy can coach. So you have some games like that, and then you throw in – I mean, look, I don't think Florida's devoid of talent. I don't know where the head's going to be at the end of the year. But, yeah, you got real tough games.
I will say this, though. If the offensive line is what we think it could be –
that'd be nice.
That could change the outlook on some of these games because I think we're perceiving them based on what the offenses looked like the last couple of years with the offensive line, like, looking decent at times – but if it's like a really good offensive line that can push people off the ball, which they do sometimes in practice,
didn't do much at all last year.
Yeah. That could change because now you're taking over games.
And we looked up on Wake Up. We looked up I made Aslan look up those 2 games that again I think are probably the 2 most impressive back-to-back games that Florida State has played since Norvell's been here, and that was at Miami and at Syracuse. Where they beat them, 45-3 and then 38-3.
Sounds right.
So whatever it was, 81-6. And Jordan Travis in one game was 10 of 12. He threw 12 passes against Miami.
Well, they ran the counter and
just
over and over again. Yeah.
And then in Syracuse, he was like 19 of 21, but for 150 yards.
That's fun, man. Run the ball.
That's what I'm saying. If you can do that, it doesn't matter if you have a number 1 wide receiver or your wide receiver core is pretty good, not great. If you can run the ball, that changes all of it. And when you do throw the ball, you're efficient.
He was furious last year that as the injuries began to mount at wide receiver and they weren't nearly as explosive as they were to begin the year, they could not fall back on the run game. And you could tell that he's trying like hell to make sure that doesn't happen this time. I mean, what I love about the transfer portal and what I love about the access we have to this coaching staff and just paying attention to the fact that they tell you what was wrong with the previous year's team by what they do immediately following the season, how they go out and go bring in different kinds of players. They'll let you know, like, we are mad we couldn't stretch the field last year, so I'm bringing in a boatload of speed in. We're going to stretch the damn field. You're going to have to cover the whole field. Last year, they didn't. Most teams in the second half of the season, once they figured out, they're hurt, they just came walking up, and we could not block anybody in the run game, and so now you're effed. It's kind of crazy they went 13-0. Given the shortcomings due to injury, they had to coach around. Like, there are long swaths of time in the games when you go back and watch last year's video, you go, God, I forgot. They went the entire third quarter got 1 first down. I mean, like, there are moments like that in every game.
The most infuriating thing about that whole season is, and I think it'll be, is years from now, when we think back about it, that Louisville game, the ACC championship, Louisville's offense was good.
Yeah.
All
during the season against everybody.
They were good all season.
Yeah.
Florida State's defense throttled them. On the other side of the ball, somehow Mike Norvell dialed up 16 points. Like with
the Wildcat.
I mean, like literally they had you don't have your best receivers really anymore. You don't have your quarterback. The offensive line wasn't good all year.
You don't even have your second string quarterback.
Yeah.
Well, look, as we talk this out and we re-adjudicate it, it makes sense that the committee left them out. They were lucky to they were lucky to get to double-digit wins. They just were they were lucky they played a bad conference with bad teams.
Well, but the worst part of all though is if you're in the playoff and all those guys get healthy.
Yeah,
now you may see the team that played against
You're not getting steamrolled
LSU.
by Michigan.
Yeah.
You're not. I mean,
no, you would not have been steamrolled.
Yeah, I mean, you have a fighting chance.
Yeah,
which is crazy. I was thinking about that today. What if they go to the playoff and they beat Michigan? I don't know, 23-10 in overtime. 23-20. They have a pick six. Hakeem Dent takes one to the house.
All right.
And then they go, but Rodemaker doesn't embarrass himself. And then let's say they lose to Texas or Washington in the championship game. Is Rodemaker your quarterback with a playoff win under his belt? Is DJ even here? I know we don't
Really
do
depends-
we don't
really
deal in
depends.
hypotheticals on this show.
That's a toughie.
Really depends on how he played.
If he didn't look great, you still may, even though he won a playoff game.
If he had, because if he had played the ACC championship game and played pretty well, then maybe. And again, I think that was the whole reason he bailed, was because his family decided he needed to leave, was because, I think in their minds, he's waited all this time. This should be his chance.
Yeah.
But if you're Mike Norvell, based on that limited sample size
You're
of that
not-
Florida game,
you're
there's
not
no
feeling-
way you could.
Man, but what if he'd have lit up the dogs in Miami?
That could have happened.
You just didn't see that coming down the pike.
Yeah, he
There
can't
were
throw
no-
it to Ja'Kai
there was
because
no-
Ja'Kai's your running back.
Yeah.
But still, he could have made it work.
No.
Ja'Kai and Morlock.
No real evidence to suggest he was about to light it up against Georgia.
Probably not with the weapons he would have had at his disposal either. I kind of
So
get it.
My guess is they probably end up still getting DJ.
Probably. But what if he wins the national championship 23-20 and 10-9?
He'll be forever remembered, and we will hold him on high as we go bring in another quarterback. That's what happens.
It would have been really
You
interesting,
know,
man.
it's-
Obviously, they should have been there. We should have gotten to see how that played out, but we didn't. Sorry, I brought it back.
Bunch of close games. We're in agreement on that. Probably this year. I think stylistically it leads to that as well.
But
I think because of the way they want to play. I think they're going to run the ball, which will shorten games as well.
The beauty is it doesn't matter. If you get to 11 wins, you are going to be playing in Charlotte for a chance to continue your season and win a national
No matter
championship.
what.
That's all you got to do. Like it doesn't matter if you win every game 23-20. If they all look like the Virginia Tech or the Duke game or the Pitt game or the BC game, it doesn't matter. You don't.
I don't
need
want
style
any of the
points
games to
anymore.
look like the BC game. That was so maddening. If that fumble, scoop and
dub's
score
a dub.
doesn't happen, they're going to blow them
Dub's
out.
a dub, baby.
Yeah.
The defense stepped up when it mattered
Dub's a
late because the
dub.
offense could. Toafili drew that face mask to keep
Save
that
the
drive
game.
going.
Change
That's
it
Teddy.
all.
That's
Yeah.
Teddy playing.
I do think what we've seen out of the offensive line so far, if it is legit, to me, it puts the Miami game in a completely different light. Because Miami's defense, I don't think it's going to be great. They've got some real young talent on the defensive line.
Yeah, Bain's really
Great
good. There are guys
linebacker.
that,
Secondary suspect.
Oh, I don't think I voted for him for all ACC. Bain.
I don't
Should
know if I did
You
either. He's
probably-
a true sophomore. I don't know. He'll put up numbers.
I think I would have.
But their strength is not going to be. I don't think. I feel much better about Florida State's offense. I was a little bit worried about new quarterback. It's and I know it's later in the year, but a lot of new faces on offense going to Miami. That's the one game they'll actually have a crowd, and it'll be intense. And Cam Ward.
That game feels like it's going to be a
the
slog.
internal, but I feel better knowing if this offensive line is what we think it is, you feel a lot better going on that road. Like you said last night in the Smash, offensive line, defense travels, running game travels.
Running game travels.
What was
man.
the offensive line in Miami? Who was it? It was obviously
Oh,
Robert Scott,
yeah.
Maurice Smith. I think Darius was starting by that point, or maybe not. I don't remember. Obviously Dylan Gibbons.
2 years ago.
2 years ago. Dimitri Emmanuel.
And they ran the ball down their throat and Miami quit.
So you're missing Gibbons and you're missing Emmanuel.
Well, but Gibbons and Scott were a big part of it. Like they would pull together a lot.
Yeah.
But you've got a lot of the same bodies, and then Leonard and whoever the other guard is, whether it's Keandre or whoever else at Ferguson, they're enormous human beings. They're big and they can move.
I feel like we were doing that thing of projecting. I feel like I'm going to be down in Miami watching that game, and it's going to be tied at 14 late in the third, early in the fourth. I feel like those two defenses are going to show up, and it's going to be a slobber knocker.
On that note, though, on the running game in that game in particular, I remember talking to Chris Thompson, FSU's tight ends coach, about that game and about them running
counter over and over and
50
over.
times or
Yeah, it was
whatever
the best.
And he said Dylan Gibbons' face mask at the end of that game was just destroyed because he was pulling so much. He's the guy crushing that defensive end and making the defensive end not want to play anymore. And that's what they really didn't have. Like Dylan Gibbons didn't go on an NFL career, but he was that dude.
And he was a good college lineman.
He would collide with that defensive end every time he ran that play.
Is Richie Leonard that guy?
That's what I'm wondering. Is
Uh-huh.
Leonard, could he be that kind of guy? Because they did, obviously Casey Roddick.
He can
was not that
move.
guy.
He can move, and he's huge.
Yeah.
And he's got good
Low
feet
center
for
of
that
gravity.
size. Well, yeah, I would not want to deal with that guy. He's the kind of, this is a compliment to him. I saw him walking off the practice fields today as we were sitting there waiting on DJ to be interviewed, and I thought, look at that guy. He's a mess, and it's a beautiful mess. He's rugged as all hell.
Been out there
He's
for 3 hours.
He's
sweating
Warren,
up.
he's a monster, and you just kind of like, I don't want to deal with that. That guy, I think we're going to be really pleased with the way he plays this year. I think he's got a whole bunch of what for to him, and I think that Darius has that. Let's knock on wood. Robert Scott's out there every day, guys, and we don't discuss injuries on here, but man, I'm rooting for that kid big time because obviously he dealt with hell last year.
Moving well to me. I mean, I don't know really how to judge 320-pound guys moving. But
I think the thing with him is going to be you just
never know. You just hold your breath.
Yeah, exactly. As long as he's playing great, you're happy. But you also have to know that he was doing well last preseason too, and so hopefully.
If he plays, I think it changes a lot of things, though, because we had so many questions about right tackle, and clearly, to me, he would be your right tackle in all likelihood. I know there are other candidates, and they'll rotate people. But, man, think if he gets back to where he was at peak Robert Scott. He was good.
Yeah.
He's a real good football player. Yeah. And now you have your left tackle in Darius, and then you have your right tackle, Robert Scott. I feel good about guard play. We know what Maurice is. Hell, he's been here 25 years. So you've got Maurice at center, who will be good. He'll never be great, but he'll be good. And then Richie, I think, is going to be a very, very good player for them.
Aslan looked up that, Norvell keeps saying they have 3 guys that have played over 2,000 snaps. They actually have 5 offensive linemen on this team that have played over 2,000 snaps. That's crazy.
Wow.
That's crazy because Keandre's over 2,000.
Is he really?
Obviously, Darius, Robert, and
Keandre's
Maurice,
the one I wouldn't have thought about.
And then Byers too. Like it's nuts how many snaps of college football, and they're all 23.
And they're all 320 plus pounds, just about besides Maurice. I mean, they're all that big.
Let me say this real quick. So last year, people were excited about the offensive line because we threw out the numbers about the number of starts. They had a lot of guys who had played a lot of football and it had a lot of starts. And then when the offensive line wasn't very good, it was also a little bit banged up. People would be like, what happened? All this talk about the offensive line. We never felt like that offensive line was pushing around the defensive line. Like
last year?
Yeah.
No.
So this is.
You hoped it was like, well, they're going up against a really good defensive line. They'll figure it out once they're built. No.
But in the back of your mind, you're also like, this guy came from a bad Colorado team. This guy came from UTEP. You were excited about the experience they had, but you didn't know how good they were actually be. I feel like some of these guys they brought in now, like it feels like, okay, no, these are big dudes who can move people, and they're going to have an impact.
What about the boss
for Danzy?
Tony.
I knew where you were going. I knew this was going to come up.
Absolutely no idea.
Tony Danzy.
I knew where he was going.
Take on Tony Danza.
Yeah.
Tony Danzy, who starred on Who's the Boss.
Right.
So obviously Mekhi Danzy is the boss. Is that
you just want to call him the boss?
It's not a horrible nickname.
This is
I know somebody already has it.
If somebody famous plays a little guitar every now and again.
I'm going to put this in your flock of seagulls category because you went with toe feely and web toes. Then you take the next step.
Yeah, I take the next step to the seagull. And I didn't call them a flock of seagulls. They were just the seagull background because the seagull has web toes.
Still never really worked.
It didn't.
I feel like this is the same thing though. You're having to take 2 steps. It's just hard.
It needs to be
get a lot of momentum.
Also, Corey, on the boss. I don't feel like speedsters should be called the boss.
Yeah.
Roy Dell should be the boss.
Yeah, or Cam Davis.
Or
Cam
Davis could be the boss. Yeah.
Cam Davis, I've guys watched him a little bit today, man. He's got good vision. Like he
does. He can see it.
Yeah. That's exciting to see. Because I don't think we've thought he's going to be a huge factor, and he probably won't be.
He won't be probably.
But it's there.
Not because he hasn't looked good. It's just it's Roy Dell.
Because they have 47 running backs, and we talk about a different one every day.
Like somebody like the boss, he'll get on the field.
No, he's not the boss.
You just agreed with me.
You just agreed with me. We can't do that.
I can't help it. It's
Hour number 2, headliner questions forthcoming. Stay with.
There he is. It's Marvin Jones Jr., everybody. He's been here every day. It's Destin Hill. He's not in pads, so everyone relax.
call. We got Benson, McCoy. That's pretty much it for punt returners today. We got kickoff here in the background. Ooh, Camden Fryer returning kicks? What?
Oh, that's sorry. Hey, we're doing the Peter calls for you. Peter. Right? Don't want to swing our hands. Still live, we're just doing this. Go! Give me a call. Peter.
That's Croman Hawk. And then Trevor Jackson. Helicopter. Let's see what that means. Let's see what Master Romano does for the helicopter. Oh, dude. You see what that was, everybody? Like how it just wobbled side to side like a helicopter rotor. What a freaking pro. Master Romano, dude. Cooking.
Café de Martin, Tallahassee's best Peruvian dining experience. Led by classically trained Chef Martin, passion for culture, passion for flavor, and a passion for people can be felt from the moment you step inside. Café de Martin also offers an unparalleled outdoor dining experience in the garden. Surrounded by vibrant flowers and plants and nestled between carefully curated decor, the shaded and breezy outdoor garden features elegant live music regularly, and the romantic evening lighting makes Café de Martin the best place to share conversation and connect with the ones you love. Every dish is made from scratch, and every drink is handmade by trained bartenders, offering the very best margaritas and old fashions in the city. Take a trip to a Peruvian paradise right here in the capital city. Visit Café de Martin and El Bar on Capitol Circle Northeast in the Esposito Shopping Center. Open daily for lunch, happy hour, and dinner. Find the full menu online at cafedemartin.com.
I'm attorney Dana Brooks with Basic Brooks Law Offices, and we believe you. Now, what does that mean? Over and over, we hear from the people we represent that when they shared their story of how they were injured, either law enforcement, insurance companies, or business owners just didn't believe them. That's why you need an attorney who has your back, no matter what. An attorney who starts by believing you're telling the truth. We're Basic Brooks, and we believe you. Let's talk. 850-777-7777.
What will the Noles do to follow up an unconquered 2023? Warchant.com, the market leader in FSU football and sports coverage, is the place to find out. Join the largest FSU fan community and talk Seminole sports in Warchant's Travel Council and premium recruiting message board forum. Enjoy cutting-edge team coverage led by managing editor Ira Schofel and lead writer Corey Clark, and inside scoops on the transfer portal and recruiting classes with Michael Langston and Matt Lassere. Backed by the best national recruiting network in On3, there's no debate. Warchant.com's your ultimate Seminole sports source. Sign up today.
It's time for Seminole Headlines, featuring Warchant.com's Jeff Cameron, managing editor Ira Schofel, and senior writer Corey Clark. Your weekly dose of all things FSU, pistols, and pies starts right now. Here's Jeff Cameron.
Hour number 2, Seminole Headlines. Headliner questions coming your way momentarily. First, we say thanks, as always, to Dr. Birch Orthodontics, who, again, I feel like I'm supposed to see this week, but I always feel that way.
Every time you talk about her, you say, I'm seeing her next week.
I don't say that every time, but it feels that way. I do see her bi-weekly.
Maybe it's just the football wins.
Well, we
in the air. You feel like
wouldn't that be bi-monthly if you see her
that's
every other week?
Out. That's too hard to
What's
figure
bi-week? So bi-weekly is
every 2 weeks.
No, it's bi-weekly is probably twice a week.
What about Danzabar, like in the Billy Joel song?
No,
Danzabar?
No, we're
the
not.
Boss is better
they could
than
play
that.
it.
The Boss is better.
We could
like
we
the
could
Billy
change the
Joel
lyric,
song.
yeah.
Not even a famous Billy Joel song. Not even like from Piano Man.
No, we're not. We're not attaching Billy Joel to Danzy in any way.
That's not.
We're
I mean, I just Tony Danza. Tony Danza
Joel.
makes sense.
Danza
both New
makes
Jersey
perfect
guys.
sense since the Danza is not even the name.
So whatever. Anyway, back to Birch.
She's awesome. Birch Orthodontics. They're great.
Yes, we can't say it enough. And listen, we don't want to hear. Don't make us come after you. You start peddling your kids to some other orthodontist. We could, you know what?
Who's doing that? Who's like walking up to you in the store going, "Hey, you guys talk about orthodontists a lot. Let me tell you about an orthodontist I know."
Slap them in the face.
They know there's going to be trouble.
Yeah, that'd be a problem. We're starting to fight.
Dr. Birch is our ride or die. That means we're her ride or die.
That's correct.
And we're always going to be there for her. Dr. Birch Orthodontics. It's a great practice. They do all the latest techniques, Invisalign, whatever the latest are. When our kids were there, Invisalign was the hip new thing. I'm sure maybe there's some new advancements since then, but they have them there at Birch Orthodontics. They will set you up on a payment plan with financing. They also will give you a free consultation, and they handle the toughest cases. Like our kids had 2 very challenging cases.
Yeah,
came out with beautiful smiles. So you can have that happen for your kids too.
It's a good thing. Brian says, thanks, guys, for all the content that you've provided for FSU athletics over the years. There's no better podcast out there. JCS and Wake Up are both great, but this is the best one. All right, cool.
Amen.
Hey, we'll take.
Sorry, losers.
Yeah, we'll take
one
it.
Common denominator there.
How about that? So as long as you guys have been covering this FSU football program, is Micah Danzy the fastest incoming freshman that you've seen?
I'm on tilt right now because I can't listen. All I'm trying to do is come up with a nickname for him, and I've been trying to do it for 40 minutes, and then we get a question about him. He's up there, right? Like Kermit was obviously exceptionally
we didn't get to watch
fast,
practice.
but we didn't get to watch practice.
Blazingly fast, but you're right.
It was fast, but couldn't catch in any capacity was I just forgot his name. He was one of the Corey Wren.
Yeah,
Corey
he was
Wren
really
could
fast.
Really run.
But fast was Bracey, and let's see who else.
Bracey, obviously.
Bracey was a world. Was
we didn't get to watch practice.
Yeah. So that's
that's the challenge. Is we're talking about even when we got to see those guys back in the day, like when Jimbo was head coach, like we could see the first 15 minutes of practice, but you didn't really see him running wide open.
Yeah, that's true.
Like there was a play yesterday. It's funny that David Johnson yesterday brought up the fact that Danzy was clocked at 21 miles an hour the day before because there was a play yesterday in practice where he hit a long play, and immediately Derek Ray, the general manager, went over to the GPS thing to go look and see what
he wanted to know. Yeah. Everybody's like,
and I didn't know at the time. It was because the day before, he had 21 miles an hour, which is flying. And man, it's the thing about him. And again, we don't want to get too carried away, but it's not just that he's fast. There's a lot of fast dudes.
Yeah.
But it's like when he makes the cut or turns the corner, it's top speed pretty quickly, really quickly.
He also, I think, I talked about this on Wake Up too. He tries.
He's plugged Wake Up 3 times now.
That's what I do. I'm trying to get
catch up with JCS.
It's an obsession.
But no, because I don't want people. Because I think we have some crossover listeners. I don't want to keep
maybe a few
being redundant and saying the same thing over and over. But with Danzy, I really like how hard he tries in special teams drills and in blocking drills. And he ain't the biggest guy in the world. Right. It's not fun in that drill but he really gets his nose in there and tries.
So he's a football player.
He is a football player. He's not a fast guy that just put on a helmet. He is a football player that happens to be insanely fast.
The thing I caught that part of your commentary on
here we
Wake
go.
Up
It's going to be. It's never a positive.
It's a negative. It's a compliment sandwich.
Okay, great.
But the filling maybe isn't what you love. But no, just that you mentioned that he does it better than Cam Davis right now, and I just want to point out that, obviously you guys know it, but Cam played quarterback, so like, he's probably never in his life blocked for anybody.
Well, it looked like it that first day, but he has gotten better too, which is what you see with these guys.
Coaching them up.
Yeah.
Coaching them up.
I doubt Danzy was sticking his nose in there on blitz and linebackers a lot at Florida High too.
I think he might have played some defense though. Maybe.
Oh, all right, okay. But yeah, he tries to be a little physical. Yeah.
The rest of Brian's was that I know there's been a ton of guys that have gone on to play football and run track for FSU because of how fast they were. I'm assuming Danzy would do the same. He was a state champ in the 200 and the 400 this year and runs the 100 in 10.5.
Yeah, I think he plans to do some track.
Let's go.
And is Cam Davis going to play baseball? And BJ Gibson? Are they baseball
players?
Yeah.
But they were going to do it next year. Like they weren't going to come in their first spring and try to do baseball.
They're on track to play.
Now we say that is the plan. That's what the coaches have told them. I know in the past, sometimes guys are told that. And then it's like, you can do that if you go have leg day in the morning with a football team.
And then go out there and
go out tour of duty at 5 a.m. and then get out. If you want to go practice baseball after that, good luck, man.
It can happen.
That's a brutal, and that's especially true at that level. Bryce is trying that now because the basketball coach has got him out there practicing. He's in the middle of football, just getting started with pads.
Can do it,
it's brutal.
How about it?
Yeah, no thanks. The most important question of the week, fellas, between Jeff's obsession with Paul Skeens, Corey's love of Caglione, is there any room for a man love in that? Any more room in that studio for anybody else? Who is Ira's man crush? Oh,
it's got to be.
It's got to
Gunnar Henderson.
It's got to
be Gunnar.
He's overtaken, but who's your one?
My kids ask me this all the time.
Yeah, it's a tough.
Who's your guy?
Sophie's choice.
You get one. Get me out here loving on two men.
Gunnar Henderson.
2023 Rutschman, 2024 Henderson.
We got
to recapture.
So you're not ride or die with either one of those guys.
Ira will turn his back on the whole franchise. Let him stumble. Let him stumble next year.
As far as I'm concerned, Ozuna is my all-time favorite Brave.
Well, and it's not because of the player that he is. It's the character. It's who he is as a man.
He got a bad rap.
Oh, he got a bad
rap, right? That's how it all works, right? That's how they all talk. He got a bad rap.
Yeah. All right. So this year, you said it's Gunnar?
Right now, he has had like 3 errors in this week.
Pick up the baseball.
Yeah. Well, it's
pick up the baseball.
It's almost always trying to make a
superhuman
sensational double play.
We don't need that. We need you to make the routine play. He made a crazy throw against the Pittsburgh Pirates. Cost you all the game.
He did.
Cost you the game.
Well,
I would have thought you would have washed your hands of it.
It was also your cheap shot first baseman running over somebody.
The big guy, Rowdy
Tellez.
If you think
get your bitch ass out of the way,
Gunnar Henderson's good. Wait till old Cags gets up in about a year and a half. You're going to see an all-time difference maker, gang.
All right, Chris writes, happy gearing up time, fellas. My confidence in Mike's play calling and weapons with speed was acquired has me very optimistic. Even though we don't have a superstar at wide receiver, seems he'll have plenty to rotate and scheme them open. I'm bullish on 11-1 being the floor.
The floor.
Chris has this being the floor.
Chris.
All right, gang, let's calm it down.
Yeah,
Chris.
no. I think the floor is 8-4.
Yeah,
that's the floor.
What was that Saturday Night Live thing? Like, settle down now. Or what was it? What was the?
Oh, here we go. This is gonna be 82.
Simmer down now.
I honestly feel like the only thing that could change that is one, unforeseen injuries, obviously, or two, the O-line doesn't perform the way we expect them to. Do you guys agree with this? Well, no, I said the floor is 8-4.
Yeah.
But I would say, Chris, I don't think they're going to go 8-4. I think they're better than that. But that to me is the floor.
Yeah, Florida's not 11-1. I mean,
that'd be awesome. Like that floor for Georgia most years.
And part of it is because of schedule, like we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
This is just a much more difficult.
You also
schedule.
don't know what the injury. Like looking back on 2023, that team could have lost 3 games very easily. Florida, no, obviously they lost their quarterback, but
Boston
College, Clemson, Florida, Louisville, I guess, like that's a 9-4 team, and that's the floor for that team. Now it was injuries, so you got to feel like, okay, if that was the floor for that team, then the floor is probably a little bit less for this team.
By the way, Norvell not doing a great job of tampering or dampening expectations. Kyle Morlock today says unbelievable camp.
He has been good,
He has
man.
been really good, but
I wouldn't
unbelievable.
I wouldn't have it as unbelievable.
It's been impressive.
It's believable.
He catches everything thrown.
He's a really good player, and we're excited for the year that he's going to have, but I don't think I'd throw unbelievable around. Today's the first day of pads, guys.
Pretty fired up.
Tough to.
Unbelievable.
Matt writes, "What's your favorite niche Olympic sport, fellas?"
You know what I watched for an hour? It just happened to be on at Corner Pocket, but we were watching it. Was badminton.
I love badminton.
And
they hit the bejesus.
I mean, it's incredible.
That
how hard they hit.
shuttlecock takes a beating.
Yeah, and it very often hits the floor. It very rarely hits the floor.
I know.
My sister,
Lisa,
here we go, was a nationally ranked badminton player at George Washington University.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. You might
I
know.
don't know. I never watched her play.
But you still might know, like,
she was nationally ranked at GW, and you didn't even bother to go watch her.
Watch them play there. She lived
You could have traveled.
Yeah, you could.
We have cars and planes.
And my dad didn't come across the street to watch my Little League games. We weren't flying anywhere to see
you're a different
badminton.
person.
You could have got him in the car.
So after they're done, and look, the Hong Kong team beat the Americans. It happens. But they shake hands. They put their bracket into a bag. And the bag looks like a tennis racket bag. Like would they have extra? Do they have 20 rackets in there?
Oh, I would think.
Well, how would you break a badminton racket?
Be hitting the hell out of that shuttlecock.
But they're not hard.
That's how you do it.
They aren't. They're not. Aren't they soft?
No. You felt the end of a shuttlecock.
Yeah. This conversation.
It's hard as a rock.
What was that?
What?
The motion you just did.
Hard as a rock. You press on that shuttlecock.
Okay. Either way, so to answer the question, so far that's my favorite. The least favorite, and we talk about this every time it comes up.
They don't always stay that way.
No, they don't stay that way, especially if they've been slapped around for a while. Yeah.
They lose their integrity.
Yeah.
They lose the integrity. They lose a bit.
You got to get a new one in there.
But handball is still it's just the stupidest sport that's ever been. And I'm convinced if you took the secondary at Florida State and coach them at it for 2.5 months.
You feel like they would be great?
They would be Olympic gold medal champions.
It is funny. Tim Linnefelt, we were texting the other day, and he's like, the weird thing about Summer Olympics now is it's like all these Olympic sports, the non-revenue sports in college athletics, and then the basketball. It's like, do they still have Olympic villages? Like
they do.
The basketball players are these world famous, super
billionaires. Yes.
And every
and then
other
those
sport
badminton girls go back to the Olympic Village and have to sleep on cardboard.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough.
They got cardboard boxes to sleep
back to
on.
making shirts when we get home, kids. This is gonna be a tough time if you're playing for your life.
This is not the Americans, not the other team.
This is
team
tough.
that won.
This is brutal. Greetings. Oh man. Greetings, Elite Headlines host. I hope this day finds you happier than a patient at Dr. Birch's. Now,
that's not possible.
Can I say this? I love Dr. Birch, but nobody wants to have to get
I think it's awesome.
No, so go tomorrow. Why don't you go tomorrow?
I was in the one.
There's no practice tomorrow, buddy. Yeah.
Usually, I would get to just talk to the staff, and Dr. Birch would come out and talk football.
He also mentions CA sausage and the andouille. Last year, FSU's 13-0 ACC title season was sullied by the snub. Is there any worry that a perfect season this year would be ruined by at least one loss due to ACC officials' retribution because the Noles are an alleged disruptor? No, man. I don't think so.
Disruptors.
It just could be incompetence more than anything.
That's a good one to throw out there. That's definitely
more than just vindictiveness.
People will wonder when there's a crazy call because that's what we do. You just assume there's a vendetta, but I don't think so because it hurts the ACC also.
Imagine this: Jordan Travis had another year of eligibility and is back, and DJ somehow transferred in. Who would win that job?
Jordan Travis.
Yeah,
I mean, I think Jordan Travis is better. But also, he's been in the system for 4 years.
Yeah, he would have a huge advantage. Yeah.
DJ could be a tight end and a good one, I bet. Just the size.
He's a big boy.
Yeah.
He's a big guy, that's for sure.
But that's not to say that he's not a good quarterback because he has been. And I thought he was good today, by the way. We haven't even talked about it.
He made some today, too.
The throw to Ja'Kai in the end zone was a thing.
You and I was standing right there to see it together,
my gosh,
buddy. That was glorious.
And he threw a great one to Portier.
Portier coming towards the
IPF.
Man,
that was incredible.
Yeah,
on the
and
third down.
Portier had a good day. Here we go.
I didn't think Portier, because I was watching from a different angle than you guys. I didn't think Portier was going to get there. And then when he did get there, I wasn't sure he was going to make the catch because it was kind of a fingertip catch.
Yeah, and he made it. And he did that a couple days ago on the sideline by us. He made that.
He got mentioned today by Mike.
Yeah, that would be huge if he really steps up.
Absolutely.
And he made a really good throw to Malik. And he made a really good throw to Malik too for what would have been a touchdown, but couldn't come down with it. But Malik, other than that, I thought had another good day.
I don't know if we all will, but I would think we're candidates too. I'm going to go. Sean wants to know who's coming over to Pensacola for the fall ball baseball game, man. I can't wait.
It's a off weekend, right?
It is.
But I think that means I'll probably be in Atlanta with Brady since it's an off weekend.
Where he could come down and go to the baseball game.
That's another option.
Yeah.
Or I could go to Biloxi and then on the way back, hit up Pensacola.
That's not bad. Gentlemen, happy football every week until the Super Bowl to you, Corey.
DC Reeves should welcome us in with. Should we get the keys to the city?
So
get the cut of
DC
ribbon?
just texted me. He wanted some numbers involving Florida State baseball for the event.
Okay,
and he did. He invited all of us to come on down. Up, I should say, yeah.
It was somebody on the FSU sports information staff who was not here when DC Reeves used to be on the Warchant staff.
Well, that was 37 years ago.
Obviously, DC Reeves is the mayor of Pensacola. And he used to be a Warchant.
At my job,
he had your job, yeah.
But what's funny is he goes, because of that game being played in Pensacola and like DC Reeves being a big part of it, somebody in sports information looked at and they hit his bio and they're like, the mayor of Pensacola used to work for Warchant. And I was like, oh, yeah. Definitely did.
Yeah.
I mean, we springboard. That's what we do. We just,
I think if you look at the talent just in this room, it shouldn't surprise you at all.
Gene's coaching tree is
that it's
outrageous. It's out of control. It's great.
Yeah. So anyhow, we're all candidates too. Sean, I'm going to go for sure. I'll say that. Michael writes, happy football. Yeah. So I mentioned yesterday on the JCS that this Thursday, there's football on. All right. So this is a preseason football game.
The Hall of Fame game.
Real quick.
Caleb Williams said
can I just say one thing about the Pensacola thing, and then you can continue.
Yeah.
If you can go. That's a really cool park. It's
that
a great
stadium's
beautiful.
Pensacola. Pensacola's coming up.
And that area is really nice near the water.
Used to suck.
Pensacola
was ass back in the day.
Check it out.
It's doing a lot better now.
It's been rejuvenated.
Probably by the great mayor. The mayor's turned that place
Yeah.
around.
We should all get to be mayors.
There was no reason to be there before him.
Yeah.
That said,
you could be mayor of Tampa. I could be mayor of Miami.
I want mayor of St. Pete.
If I'm mayor of Miami, there's a good chance I'm going to get locked up because that's generally.
No. The generations of criminals that have run Miami have managed to avoid prison easily. So you would be all right.
Some
not all of them. Some have made it. Okay, all right.
You're saying about the game on Thursday. That's why I interrupted.
Oh yeah. So there's a football. I know it's a preseason game, but the point is that marks the time in which there is football played every Thursday from this Thursday until February.
Well,
that's beautiful.
You're talking about every Thursday there's a game.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
How freaking amazing is that?
Yeah, we made it.
When you're starving, buddy, you can't complain. I know that's just a crumb, but it's something. You got a little something.
He never gets excited about that.
Well, I'm still thinking about Danzy's nickname. Oh, and the flight. Both of those are weighing on me heavily right now.
I can tell the flight's really bothering you. It's come up more than once, and you're 3 weeks away.
Yeah, 3 weeks in a day.
And you're thinking about it now.
Yeah. Just what does it feel like when it's going down?
You got good drugs?
Yeah. Well, no. Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
I'll go ahead and say yeah. Sure, I do. Yeah.
So
got a whiskey bottle I can get to the bottom of.
He was asking, and he was saying, "Happy football every week until the Super Bowl to you, me, and Ira." Obviously, he wants to know
dancing in the streets.
Oh,
it's not bad. That's a good one. That's a good one. Another recent poll.
Hey man, that's all I got.
Not bad.
I still like he's a Danzy.
I mean, Danzy's not bad. Yeah, he's a Danzy or fine and Danzy, handy Danzy.
I don't think we want that.
You know, like handy Danzy.
No. What would you? Oh, here's what. Have you come up with a nickname for this year's backfield that he was asking you?
Oh man, it's all so relevant. It's crazy. No,
there's too many. There's 7. You can't
way
incorporate 7 backs.
No, you got a Toafili, a Danzy, a Cam Davis, a Jalen Lucas.
This could be your finest work of art. Though.
You may have to sit down and chart it and see if you can.
It'll be like a beautiful mind. My whole wall will be all these arrows and old newspaper
solving crimes.
Yeah. No,
it's
I have
always
not
sunny.
come up with one yet.
The big graph.
Yeah, I'll figure out something though.
What's your opinion on football adding up to 105 scholarships and baseball going to 34? That's crazy. Baseball goes from 11.3 to 34.
It's nuts.
I
did tell Brady though. I texted Brady. He's like, "Hey man, just so you know, they just passed this legislation where your whole life I've told you you're not getting a baseball scholarship, so quit even trying." Well, I was wrong. Apparently, all these
filter down.
Yeah, it's going to filter
Apparently,
down.
Every Tom, Dick, and Harry is going to get a baseball scholarship under these rules.
34 is crazy. Now, they all won't be funded, but you going from all the big schools will, and I feel like to try to keep up, schools like Furman and Georgia Southern they'll go over 11.7 because those are sports they can actually compete at.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Maybe it will feel, but I don't really have a thought other than that's crazy. It's good for the
I
players.
I have a thought about how it's going to ruin the G5, but
yeah, it'll be interesting because right now you got 85 on scholarship, but Florida State's got 25 guys that could be on scholarship. Probably their walk-on program is really strong. I mean, like there's the walk-on running back that makes plays every day.
27. Parks,
yeah. I mean, he makes plays every day.
48's a walk-on DB. That's
AJ Cottrell, linebacker 41 is a really good player. I mean, there's kids on this team that are walk-ons that could be on scholarship. I'm guessing they'll all get on scholarship, which will be great. But I don't know that you're going to
that backup punter needs to be on scholarship too. Mac Chimonto, because he crushes the ball.
They've got the best backup kicker and punter combo in the country. I'm betting it right now. I don't need to see anybody else's backup. Seriously, like that. There's reason to be excited about the future of special teams here, as well as the current. Crop.
Current, like all Americans.
They got 2 studs right now, but their backups are really effing good.
Yeah,
we crack up in practice. That kid, the backup kicker, makes 55 yards.
and you're just like, yard a day, made a 51
no problem.
Yarder. Yeah, and then the punter he kicks it to the moon.
Burke writes, preseason mags are out, and FSU is coming in anywhere between 7 and 16. So let's say 11 on average. Are we underrated, overrated, or right on target?
I think right 11 is about right.
Yeah,
right?
I'd say right on target. It would be hard for me to say they should definitely be top 10, and they should definitely not be lower than like 12 or 13. So, yeah, I think
it feels about right. I think they'll 16.
If somebody's got 16, I think that's too low. Somebody's got 7 hot at 7. That just feels a little ambitious, but it could be.
I want to sit down and look at everybody's, we got to rekindle, the knowledge of who left and who didn't from the other top 10 teams that you would have over Florida State. Yeah, that's the whole thing. More headliner questions when we come back. Seminole Headlines, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Re-elect City Commissioner Curtis Richardson. Commissioner Curtis Richardson is dedicated to making our city better, and that means addressing the most important matters head on. Commissioner Richardson supports effective public safety, increased affordable housing, greater job creation, and preserving Tallahassee's natural landscapes. Commissioner Richardson is good for Tallahassee. On August 20th, let's re-elect Commissioner Curtis Richardson.
Made by Curtis Richardson, nonpartisan for Tallahassee City Commission, Seat 2.
Hey, let me tell you about my friends at Tried and True Consulting, a Seminole-owned business that specializes in payments and business solutions. Tried and True's core expertise includes card, ACH, point of sale, mobile, e-commerce, and hosted payment solutions. Tried and True will help you reduce costs and increase your bottom line. That always sounds nice. Whether you're a retailer, restaurant, licensed professional, or service industry, Tried and True is saving you money. Tried and True's expertise extends to payroll, video menu ad boards, IT services, web design, and social media. It's time to make one call and tell the competition to take it on down the road. Call Don or Joe today at 844-464-6653. That's 844-464-6653. When you do business with Tried and True, they contribute 10% of the net revenue to the battle's end. So go Tried and True today. Call 844-464-6653.
You probably already know that Pinch a Penny Pools and Spas is your one-stop destination for all pool maintenance needs, offering everything you need from chemicals, cleaners, vacuums, nets, and more. But that's not all. Pinch a Penny also carries a huge selection of premium hot springs hot tubs paired with easy financing options, making these luxury hot tubs affordable for everyone. And if you have an older hot tub and you're worried about the hassle of removing it, worry no more. Pinch a Penny will not only remove and haul away your old hot tub, but also offer a trade-in value for a credit towards your new one. So why wait? Visit Pinch a Penny's 12,000 square foot showroom today on Greer Road and discover how effortless and affordable owning a fantastic hot tub can be. Find out more at TallahasseeHotSpring.com. That's TallahasseeHotSpring.com.
Howdy, folks. Jeff Cameron here to tell you about my friends at DexaFit Tallahassee. What is DexaFit, you might ask? Well, it's where you want to go if you're looking to elevate your health and fitness journey. DexaFit's exclusive services include AI-enhanced body scans, VO2 max fit testing, and RMR metabolism analysis to provide detailed insights into your body composition, cardiovascular fitness, and metabolic well-being. Sounds like a lot of science, but that's because it is the most advanced science available. In fact, that's a good thing, right? DexaFit gives you immediate detailed insights about your body composition, provides a customized plan to improve on troubled areas, delivered in an easy-to-navigate mobile app so you can share the information with your trainer or even your doctor to find the most direct path to your peak health. Check out DexaFit Tallahassee, the most accurate and most state-of-the-art body composition scanning and fitness planning available. Located on Capitol Circle Northeast, directly next to Bumpus. Check them out online at DexaFit.com and tell them Jeff Cameron sent you. DexaFit Tallahassee. Know your body and transform your life.
Life is stressful. Dinner should be. That motto is why Register Sausage has been doing business in the Florida Panhandle and Lower Alabama for over 75 years. A proud sponsor of Seminole Headlines, Register Sausage always provides the best Southern smoked sausage to over 140 grocery stores and restaurants throughout the Southeast. Headliners have discovered the Register's difference. You can too. To find a store that carries Registers near you or to buy directly, head to registermeats.com. That's registermeats.com. Register Sausage. Yay, sausage!
Seminole Headlines returns now. Head to YouTube and search for Warchant TV today to catch the show live or on demand. Now, here's Jeff Cameron, Ira Schofel, and Corey Clark.
If choosing between sorry as hell, serviceable, good, or plus position group, where would you rate the linebacking group a week into fall practice? Oh, okay.
What are the choices again?
Sorry as hell.
No.
Serviceable.
Maybe.
Good. Or a plus position group.
I'm checking the
serviceable. Maybe.
What did he say about DJ
that?
Lundy today?
He just said he's been limited.
Okay.
And that's created opportunities for other guys to get reps.
I would say, and also think, I don't know how much he's going to play. I have been noticing Sean Murphy more.
Yeah, man, he's definitely
15 seems to have taken a step
from where he was in the spring.
Yes, because he didn't look like, honestly, he just didn't look like he was going to play, and now he does. And then 18 is revelation.
Could be a difference maker.
Way too strong to call him a revelation, but he's definitely caught your eye enough and your ear because of that popping, the popping of the pads. That you're thinking, okay, he has a chance to play too.
When he sees it and feels, he
goes.
It's what it's supposed to look like.
He also gets to the edge really quickly too. Like he can move for
twice
that
today
size.
on really
plays
tough plays.
Outside, plays in the perimeter. Yeah,
I'm going with serviceable. I think that's
serviceable,
what we went with.
With partly cloudy with a chance of
good. Chance of good. B-Rad, yay, sausage. If you knew Hakeem lived up to his 5-star billing, Benson played like the #1 JUCO wide receiver in the country, and Ja'Kai was the pit Ja'Kai every week. Would you have the Noles going undefeated?
They have a really good chance.
Well, at that point, if all of those things were true.
So if you're saying Hakeem lives up to a 5-star status, we're saying he's what, a second-round pick?
First or second-round pick.
And if Malik Benson, #1, I don't even know what that means to be the #1 JUCO wide receiver. But
let's
let's
say
say
uber productive.
Let's say he's a day 2 pick as well. So second or third round.
And Ja'Kai goes off like he gets
100 yards every game. I would think if you have 2 second-round picks out wide and guys and Ja'Kai.
With this offensive line, these running backs, a senior quarterback, and this defense,
you might lose a game 38-34 or something, or you might just have one of those days like the LSU 2019 struggled against in one of those games. If
we could sign up for that scenario, we would.
Yeah, you're in Charlotte for sure.
I like the scenario you laid bare there, though. That would be nice. R.A. writes, gentlemen, thanks for leading us through the offseason wilderness. Will the improvements to the interior of the offensive line help in short yardage this year? Jeff, how do you handicap Olympic breakdancing? I am a avid gambler, as you guys know. No, we're not doing that.
Breakdancing?
No. But I haven't watched any of the breakdancing. I can't believe it's an Olympic sport.
Has it started yet? Can you bet on it?
You can bet on everything.
You can bet on the table tennis for sure.
I bet on table tennis all the time.
Yeah, well, you have to.
Silent dancer.
That's not terrible, but you're throwing an R in there.
Did I catch a niner in there? So silent. What is that? So for silent dancer?
Yeah, Tina Turner. Your silent
dancer.
Private dancer.
No, but there's also silent dancer Elton John.
That's true.
That's
tiny dancer. Tiny
That's
dancer.
why I was confused.
Silent killer.
And we don't like tiny dancer.
No, we can't do tiny dancer.
We definitely don't want private dancing. We want them to be public for everyone to see.
Right. Yeah, I can't do
private dancer. Hey, you know what? Back to the drawing board.
You could do something off the band Danzig.
Mother. That was their biggest hit, but you're not going to call him Mother. That's not a nickname.
And he was Glenn Danzig, right? So, yeah, no, you couldn't.
That's way too too obscure for these kids. I don't think many of them have heard of Danzig.
Well, they better get off their ass and listen to some tunes. But anyhow, we'll keep trying. That wasn't the question at all, was it? What the do I bet on breakdancing? I don't handicap it.
I haven't done it yet.
It doesn't matter. I'm not even going to watch it.
Okay.
But as far as the improvement to the interior of the offensive line, helping in short yardage, sure, absolutely.
And having DJ.
DJ being 240 something,
those
50
two
pounds,
things combined
should be. Yes, that should definitely help.
Here's a fun question from Marty. Yo, fellas, between these four newcomers, who do you think who will have the best career at Florida State? Here they are. You ready? Landon Thomas, Cam Davis, LaWayne McCoy, Elijah Moore.
What were the first two?
Landon Thomas,
okay,
Cam Davis, LaWayne McCoy, Elijah Moore.
LaWayne McCoy.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, I don't want to put all my chips in, but
the problem is LaWayne's the leader in the clubhouse right now. He's already off to the best start.
And he had the spring.
Yeah,
he
was doing well in the spring.
No, Landon
too.
was here in the spring, but yeah.
But he was doing darn well. LaWayne was doing darn well in the spring too.
So he'd be the leader. We'd go with him, but I'd put a little savor. I'd put a little sprinkle on the other guys.
And I like it happened right in front of us today. We haven't talked about yet when they're walking from. It's right after the snack, right? They're going inside.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God, this is hilarious! But you got to be careful how you say this.
I will.
With Shaheem.
Yeah,
I heard that also.
He walks past
that exchange
Shaheem.
was a good one.
I don't remember you guys being there.
He taps him on the helmet as
while
he's
walking
past. He goes, "Why are you walking?" And then Shaheem, not so expletive deleted. I'm not on the blank. I'm not on the field yet.
Blank.
And then McCoy says blank back to him with something else. Now it seemed not all that confrontational.
It was playful. 100%.
I think
it was playful.
But also the fact that he felt the need as a true freshman. Shaheem is the leader of that defense, maybe the leader of the team.
One of them.
And when you watch another thing, I want to talk about Shaheem real quick. When he's not in the game, when he's not in the practice, he's watching. He'll go behind the offense where all the coaches and analysts are to signal to the safety, like to coach up the safety so he can see him and tell him where to be. The guys that are below, that's.
He's got to have a huge year this year, guys. He's got to have a huge year. I think he's got to, right? There's no way he wouldn't, right? He's athletic as hell. He's long. He's played a ton of football.
Yeah, he's good. He's been good.
No, but my point is, I think he could have a huge season.
Yeah, maybe make a few more plays.
Right.
But otherwise, he's still very, very good and very important. But the fact that McCoy,
that's what I was
a true freshman, Shaheem's been
the
here
gumption,
for 4 years. The gumption and the balls to say, I guess those are similar.
I was going to say, just stay with gumption. I had you there, buddy. I had you.
That's really, I don't know, man. That says something to you that he's going to talk smack to the leader of the team.
Not just talk, look for the reason to do it.
Oh yeah,
like he singled him out.
He couldn't wait.
Everybody else was walking. And then, I think he was kidding.
Yeah,
but I also think Shaheem let him know that that's not you're not rolling.
But the fact that he's okay kidding with him, man, I just think that says something about that kid. He's got a little something to him.
Go
along with the talent.
To Ira's point, I think Shaheem was nobody was angry. But the bitch part of that let me know that perhaps he was letting him know a little bit.
We bleeped that out.
It's okay. He said
expletive deleted.
Yeah,
expletive deleted.
He said it. Yeah, it's okay. That kid's got a little what for to him. McCoy does to do that. The temerity is good. I like to see it.
Temerity.
You like temerity?
Better than balls.
And gumption is better than balls.
Yeah.
I gave you two. Yeah. I give you gumption and temerity.
I like temerity.
Love all the content that's been posted on Warchant TV. This is from R. Wilmer. I know we all
try the website, R. Wilmer. There's a lot of great content on there too.
That is true. I know we all get fixated on the skill positions and trenches. My question is on undervalued position that determines greatly to field position. Have we got a punter in the pipeline to replace? Yes. Yeah. We just talked about this earlier. We got a punter in the pipeline. We got punters for days out here.
Tremendo.
Yep. And he's been here a couple years now, right?
Yeah.
There'll be times where you might be looking at the phone or looking off at something else, and I look up and see a ball in the air it looks like it came out of a t-shirt gun, and then I'm like, oh, you look out and you assume Master Mono hit it, and no, the other kid did. He's not nearly as consistent, and he can't do it with either leg. I don't think. I think he's just right-footed. And he's not as nearly. We don't know anything about how good he is at angling, getting inside the 10. But strength for strength, he's got just about as strong a leg as Master Mono. It's really impressive.
This is a fun one.
And he holds, too. He's a good holder.
Justin writes, hey, fellas, which would be faster? 1, as a team, you 3 must run/walk every step of Doak Campbell, 1 at a time, pre-construction. 2, Jeff has to drive everyone from Atlanta to Tallahassee, but Corey has to pick where to get gas from, and Ira has to stop at a rest area.
So, we were coming back from Tampa. We went down to see Molly in Tampa for her birthday.
Yeah.
And we were driving back, and I really had to go to the bathroom. And I saw a rest area.
And you kept going.
And I kept going because I just couldn't give in.
Well, your quote back, that's 15 years ago.
We would have got killed probably.
You said, you said you don't stop at rest area because you said bums. Bums and losers was the quote.
Oh,
the only people that stop at rest area are bums and losers.
So now just some poor traveling family.
Yes, bums and losers.
Coming back from
nobody stops at rest area but bums and losers.
Losers. Where did you get losers from?
It is exactly what
why
you
would
said.
you think that anybody stops at a rest stop as a loser?
There's context that there are. Those people are there too, is all I'm saying. I'm not saying that it's exclusive to bums and losers.
Okay,
but they're
that's like going to
be
Disney World. That's like you. If I just said, "Well, all the people at Disney World are fat losers," you would be furious.
Could have been a situation where you're just digging in your heels. But my point is, here we are in 2024, and I still wouldn't stop, even though I go back because I'm not giving.
I'll drive 30 extra miles to get to a rest area.
That's ridiculous. Just get off the highway, man.
Yeah, gas stations are.
We're not going to relitigate this.
We won't.
He's dug in. He's just
Yeah.
told you he's never given in. He could be 70. He's not suddenly going to have an open mind and be like, oh, you're right. The rest stops are awesome.
Are great.
This is a wonderful thing. Seminole Headlines, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV continues in a moment.
Your local news now.
Democratic candidate Megan Hovey has dropped out of the race for Florida's 2nd congressional district seat, prompting Democrats within the North Florida district to select a replacement. Hovey notified the Florida Division of Elections of her withdrawal from the race last week. Florida Democratic leaders will meet virtually tonight to select a candidate to face the winner of the GOP primary, which features incumbent Congressman Neil Dunn and challenger Rhonda Woodward. Hovey gave no reason for her decision to delay the race, but noted in her letter her decision was time to allow the Democratic Party time to find a replacement. One name that is being mentioned is Yen Bailey, a Tallahassee attorney and a member of the board of directors of the Friends of Leon County Public Library. Congressman Neil Dunn has served in the U.S. House of Representatives since 2016. Former President Donald Trump endorsed Dunn's candidacy on July 25th on Twitter. This is Rachel Lene with your Real Talk 93.3 Local News Update, brought to you by Macklemore Systems, Tallahassee's go-to Mac store. Check them out online at MacklemoreSystems.com.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. A heat advisory continues until 8 p.m. tonight. Sunshine mixed with clouds at times this afternoon, with thunderstorms likely. Daytime highs approaching 94. Winds out of the north around 5 miles per hour. Partly cloudy tonight. Chance for storms. Lows dip down to about 75. This report is brought to you by the Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Currently 90.
Games for Less, Tallahassee's largest selection of new and used games, as well as new and used consoles like Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Atari 2600, PS4, and PS5. You name it. Locally owned and operated since 1994, trade-ins are not only welcome, but Games for Less pays more for your trade-ins than the big chain stores. That's not all. Games for Less now buys and sells new and used vinyl records to boot. George loves the Beatles, by the way. Reserve all the new releases today at Games for Less, conveniently located in the Walmart Supercenter Plaza on Appalachia Parkway.
Feeling hungry but don't want to leave the house? Download the Foodies Takeout and Delivery app and earn points and rewards on every order while supporting local at the same time. Other food deliveries like DoorDash and Uber Eats are taking upwards of 20 to 30% directly out of our local restaurants' pockets, while Foodies does not. Keep money local and support your favorite local restaurants such as El Jalisco, Gordo's, Jerry's, Smitty's Tap House, and many more. Download the free app today and start earning your rewards instantly. Just search for Foodies Takeout and Delivery in any app store or order online at foodiestakeout.com.
Life is stressful. Dinner shouldn't be. That motto is why Register Sausage has been doing business in the Florida Panhandle and Lower Alabama for over 75 years. A proud sponsor of Seminole Headlines, Register Sausage always provides the best Southern smoked sausage to over 140 grocery stores and restaurants throughout the Southeast. Headliners have discovered the Register's difference. You can too. To find a store that carries Registers near you or to buy directly, head to registermeats.com. That's registermeats.com. Register Sausage. Yay, sausage!
Seminole Headlines returns now. Head to YouTube and search for Warchant TV today to catch the show live or on demand. Now, here's Jeff Cameron, Ira Schofel, and Corey Clark.
If Amari plays really well at tight end, do you think they'll move him to defensive end later on in his career or just keep him at tight end from that point forward? That's Timmy.
Good question.
But from what I've seen through a week,
he's a tight end.
He's a tight end, and it's going to be a really good one.
He is. I agree.
You
but
can do both. Can you do both?
That's what I'm just. I don't know that you can do both, but I don't know if he could be you'd rather an elite defensive end than you'd rather an elite tight end. I think
But then why isn't he a defensive end now?
Well,
he's undersized. Yeah, I was gonna say he's not close to being big enough.
So they're similar size.
I think he's gonna stay a tight end, guys. Yeah. That's my answer.
But he looks. He's making plays all the time.
Yeah, he's actually been impressive. He's another one of those freshmen.
Yeah, he is in that group, and he's got an air about him. You know, like I don't know. I just feel like he expects this. Like he's not.
He doesn't seem bashful. That's for sure. Yeah, no, he's out there doing it like he expects to be doing it. That's fair. And I really think as a true freshman, when you come in, the only way you can excel is obviously you have to have the physical tools, but you have to believe that that's what you're supposed to be doing anyhow. Like some people come into college to play football and they're kind of in awe of the talent they see all around them. And that's at every level. Like, the first time you walk out onto a college to play college football, you're surrounded by people who were probably their team's best player in high school. Every one of them were almost every one of them. Right. And so it's hard not to be in awe, especially kids that are older than you. And he just walks in and is like, no, I'm good. I'll make plays. I've always made plays. That's what I do. I just come out here and make plays.
He's only played 3 years of high school football.
That's crazy.
He's only in high school for 3 years.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. And to be that big after only 3 years of high school is crazy. Hey, fellas, this year's football season coincides with the birth of my first son, or firstborn, excuse me. Good job, Thomas. Since all of you have been there before, when's the best age to take him to an FSU football game?
Depends on the opponent.
It does. And it also just depends on what you're willing to let them hear.
But that's what I'm saying. But that's why Brady's mom took him to Boston College games for the first 14 years of his life.
Yeah.
It's not a lot of angst.
Even then, though, man, fans kind of suck in general. It depends. It's tough. You're going to get a guy who's blitzed.
I feel like Jeff's turned into like Roger Waters from Pink Floyd, where he has disdain for his own fans.
Is that true?
Is that what you're putting up a wall between you and your audience?
It's not true at all. And the point would be, you agree with me on this, that when you go sit in the stands, invariably there is a guy who is over the top drunk.
Yeah.
And yells
typically a man,
yells something insane after every series or every play.
Or the guy,
and that guy doesn't represent the bulk of the fan base. I'm not saying that. It's just that you can't avoid it. You can't control it, and it's rare it doesn't happen.
Yeah. Real quick, so Tally RC in the chat came up with Lieutenant Danzy.
By the way, I want to say this real quick because I can't read the chat.
Hadn't seen the chat.
I hadn't seen the chat, and I came up with
Lieutenant Danzy around the same time.
The lieutenant, we call him the lieutenant.
He just wants to call him lieutenant. But then someone else pointed out
he didn't have legs.
Lieutenant Dan didn't have legs.
Yeah, he was missing legs,
yeah.
But he was fiery.
Corey goes, that is a drawback.
It's
but
he did have counterpoint to the
it.
great nickname.
Yeah,
he had him for like 20 minutes of the movie.
Yeah,
right.
And he had him at the end with the fake ones when he came to the wedding.
That's right, with the hot wife he got because he was a gazillionaire. He was married. Maybe she wasn't hot. I don't remember. Maybe I'm not saying right.
Let's not do this.
Sorry,
but Corey wants to go with the lieutenant.
I like the lieutenant as Lieutenant Danzy. Or Danzy the Manzy.
I don't mind. The lieutenant's not bad.
It's not bad.
It's not a bad nickname, but then
God forbid there's any kind of military background in his family, we may have something here.
But somebody could absolutely point out that Lieutenant Dan is known for not having legs, and that's kind of Danzy's, I would say, calling card.
Maybe his best quality
is the speed.
What his legs do. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's keep trying. It's not terrible.
Y'all aren't jumping on Danzy the Manzy like I would like you to.
So the age, I don't know. Like in the Cameron household, the boys have heard harsh language from a young age. So I've never been worried about the language. It's the way something about the way things happen, play out in the stands of football games.
How old were you when you went to a football game?
My dad took me.
I was 7.
I was 7.
Yeah, but the world was different then. We were exposed to a lot of things that our kids were not exposed to at a young age.
Oh, I exposed my kid to everything.
Well,
early.
You guys live in Atlanta. Yeah. That's different.
Yeah.
You watched Pulp Fiction at 3rd birthday.
Our kids were raised in Tallahassee.
Well, that's true. Good point. I would think 7 though. Like again,
you can go. Listen, you can go when they're even younger if you're right. If you pick the right game and then sit in the right places.
But like, it's all parenting's different, man. Like I've got friends that like curse in front of their kids from the time they're 5.
Yeah,
we were not those people, but that's not like we're judging people to do it. It's just everybody's different. But like there were times when our kids were little and we'd just be walking to like the downtown Get Down
And you'd hear,
and people would be drunk.
"Oh, it's a downtown get down, buddy."
Stuff, I mean,
the three of us were on a stage lighting up the audience,
Yeah,
buddy.
Thursdays.
Man, come on now. And we all had hair. We had hair.
I was telling somebody about that the other day. How many shows did we? Oh, look at that!
Season.
Look at that!
No,
Tom Lang must be on the.
Oh, look at this gang! Look at this crew. Corey, I'm still going to say to this day,
do I look better then or now?
How did you get out of the house?
Look, I know what it looks like. I know the picture.
Hold on a second. I just want to do this. You look a lot better now, Corey.
Thank you.
But I want to say this, buddy.
Do we blame Shanna?
I do.
Yeah.
And anybody who loved
you were actively listening to everything Shanna said back then.
And
anybody
who
me how
loved
bad
you.
it looked in hindsight,
you'd have shut up.
Been like,
make me a Popeye.
Are you kidding? Look at this. Look at me.
No, put the picture back up. I want to do something very quickly. And Corey, this is why I want to hug you right now, and I love you, so just handle this well. What was going on? I don't understand how, A, you walked out of the house with that hair.
Right.
B, those pants are 17 sizes too big for you. Look at these pants.
I know what I'm
5
wearing.
people could fit in those pants. The shirt is frumpy. Those shoes look like, I won't say it. It's going to offend somebody. There's just so many things you had given up.
I would
you
say,
had given up.
What I would say is Brady was 3, and I just feel like I was tapped out of caring about anything else because Brady at 3 was like having quadruplets. So I feel like that must have been what was on my mind. I don't understand the hair, and I'll always blame Shanna. Because look at it now. Look at the picture now, gang. Like she knew what the deal was.
Once
you
you finally got her grips off of you, and you finally escaped.
I could finally shine.
Trevor points out Forrest did tell him that he had magic legs when he saw the prosthetics.
Okay, all right. For the younger folks, this is obviously, we hope, a reference that you understand with the movie Forrest Gump.
Magic Legs would be a great nickname for Danzy.
Magic Legs is a great nickname. That is a great nickname.
We could say Lieutenant Danzy, old Magic Legs.
Well, magic legs are just magic.
Just magic legs.
It hasn't been a magic in a long time.
You cannot. Magic Legs.
Magic Legs is great. That's like a
and then people say, where did that come from?
I know, and then we get
around the corner goes Magic Legs. Yeah, that's it. That's the call.
The galloping ghost and stuff like that. We got our own
version
of galloping
It's Magic
ghost.
Legs. Who did that? You get the credit. Trevor.
AP.
Yeah.
Trevor with AP.
Trevor, you get the credit. You win.
Magic Legs is great, and it's cool because there's a backstory to how we
and
got
now
there.
we know it. We did it, folks. We should sign off a little early.
Man,
I mean, that is so good.
And it goes with his first name. It's an M. There's some alliteration there.
Chat's in favor of Magic Legs.
It's Magic Legs. So Thomas, we didn't answer your question. It's up to you, man. Every parent is different. Just know that you're going to hear and see things in those stands.
Boston College is again
go pick a game.
Don't take them to a Miami game. Although I went to a Miami game in the Orange Bowl when I was 9.
I did too.
Which was not probably the best parenting decision.
It's all right. Throw them into the fire.
But that's true.
Your dad wanted you to know these are the scumbags that root for the Miami Hurricanes.
Well,
this is what it's like.
And that
this
live
is what
in
it
this
is.
Area code.
Yeah, this is a toughie.
No offense, Ira.
I'm still thinking about that picture.
Shut up.
You had just called it a day. Just like
I got. Hey, you know what? What a lesson for young kids out there, or even guys in their 30s and 40s right now. Look at that picture and then see how you can bounce back.
Right. There you go.
Jonesing for FSU writes, okay, since you guys are the insiders when it comes to this particular topic, I have one request. Can we get Ben and the guys to get a gator sausage in production?
Ooh, a gator sausage.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Bill serves gator at Corner Pocket, but yeah, gator sausage would be incredible.
We need to get Ben on that. Also, my Alexa wants some chicken sausage. I need to talk to him about that. We need chicken sausage line.
We got it branching out now to gators and chickens.
Yeah.
How about some deer sausage?
Some venison?
Yeah.
So my guy is like, guys, we do the pigs. That's what we do. You want me to bring in a bunch of chickens and gators and deer?
What about human flesh?
No, that's Alaska.
Human sausage.
You can ship it to Alaska, buddy. That's Alaska.
That's why they don't ship it to
That's
Alaska.
Exactly right. Tony writes, knock on wood, purely hypothetical, but what record would you guys pick if Brock Glenn had to start every game but the Georgia Tech game?
No. Wow. What a okay. That's a good question.
All right, he says he still has them going 9-3. His losses would be to Notre Dame, Miami, and SMU.
I haven't been as impressed with my man Brock the
After
last
day
few
one?
practices. The last two in particular, he's just missing, in my opinion, too many layup
Yeah, but
throws,
Corey, you've said
he's
this
seeing
before.
it.
He makes some
really
incredible
nice
throws.
But he also
does.
he looks to me like he's seeing it okay at times where he doesn't get the
a
throw.
little
there.
inconsistent.
But I would say those legs play too, man. If he can stay healthy,
Well, he can run around.
He rips off 30-yard runs every practice.
He's no magic legs.
No, he's not magic legs.
Very few people are.
No, he's he could be the lieutenant. No, he's got better legs. than
Oh,
that.
come on.
No, you're right.
Yeah,
I'm the lieutenant.
What happened
I don't know.
there?
I don't know. I'm sorry.
Just taking shots. He must hate Brock.
I would say 2 less wins than if DJ was the quarterback.
Yeah, I just think the it's hard to say some
It's
games
hard.
would be losses, but I feel like the floor obviously.
Yeah,
would-
the mountain to climb would be a little bit higher
Yeah.
if you had to. Yeah, that's a tough call.
But you do have a lot of other, I mean, he could be serviceable, which I think he would be. You got a lot of nice pieces around.
It's just
him.
hard, man. He's got 2 games in his life, and they didn't go well.
Well,
so
they were really
no, I know
difficult.
they were awful situations.
I mean,
saying,
you really couldn't write up any worse
they
situation.
could not be
You could
written
not-
up
yeah,
worse. So
yeah.
I just feel like this year, his redshirt freshman year, to be thrown back into the fire, there's going to be some downs.
He's
to
not
go along
lacking
with some
confidence.
ups. No,
He's not
he is
lacking
not.
confidence. Yeah.
He wings it.
Gentlemen, this ambassador to Florida wants to know, has the additional on-field coaching made an impact that is noticeable day to day?
I don't know.
I would not have quantified
I wouldn't
that,
say
honestly.
that. I mean, here's the problem. It's not like you can have, and I was thinking about this during the summer, like when they were talking about changing this rule, like the analyst coach, you can almost have too many. You don't want to have too many cooks in the kitchen. You don't have too many people giving instructions during drills. There's probably going to be a time. It's probably going to take a little while.
Yeah.
Probably for coaching staffs to figure
Figured
out
out that
the
sweet
best
spot.
way to handle that. Like whether it's splitting up groups, because in general, I mean, like Odell and John Papuchis have a pretty good routine where Odell takes half the group over here.
Yeah.
Papuchis takes half the group over here. They do that. If you start having other guys in there offering opinions,
I've
and
noticed
coaching, it
some.
could be a
Yeah,
challenge.
no, you're right. You don't want too many cooks in the kitchen, as you said, but I do think I've seen a discernible difference. Like I brought up Ernie earlier. I feel like he and Randy have kind of figured it out nicely.
Really?
Like, I've watched the way that they break up their drills and stuff. Yeah, it seems. I don't know what impact it has. It looks like they've got a good synergy there. Okay, this is good. Jerry wants to know, good afternoon, gentlemen. Will there be a pregame show and a postgame show from Ireland? There is a pregame show. I'm doing it along with Tom. I know that.
Is it on locale?
It is
somewhere?
on. It's on locale. Yeah, it's gonna be great. There's a big booster thing.
Live?
It's live. It's gonna be awesome. There's a
When are we announcing all that kind of stuff?
Well, we're finalizing the. I'm also doing live shows from a pub in Dublin for the whole week.
Tough life.
So this will be a good thing. But we will have final announcements for everybody. We're just solidifying some things.
If we come move stuff around, like, can we get some free Guinness, you think? Like,
I think
we're
I don't know if
roadies?
I can vouch for free Guinness, but you certainly, I
There's
mean,
old magic
Certainly there
legs
will
on
be
the
Guinness
screen.
you can buy.
yeah, there's I don't want to steal from the pub.
I mean,
Think of all the locals you're bringing into that pub though with
It's
your
huge.
show. Yeah, it's huge in Ireland. The
Well,
JCS.
what they'll do is they'll have the big sign out front and say, the world famous Jeff Cameron show is here at our pub tonight. And those people be like, he must be big in America.
Oh, huge.
We've never heard of him, but we're going in.
We're going to
anyhow.
go tell our friends.
Hey, we're going
who
to get
he
that
is.
Guinness anyhow.
Yeah.
But by night 2, the word is out, Corey.
Yeah,
Night
you're right.
3, forget about it. It's people
Oh yeah,
down
those
the
will
street.
Those will be night shows.
Yeah, 6
Yeah,
o'clock
yeah,
at night.
that's
That'll be
funny.
fun. It'll be
That's
happy hour
interesting,
over
yeah.
there, basically.
Did I miss the announcement? I saw something on in the comments yesterday about the 3-hour JCS.
We're getting back to the 3-hour JCS.
Let's go.
I'm unveiling the third hour is coming back, buddy.
You're gonna unveil that, huh?
When's that
I
happening?
mentioned it. A couple weeks.
Wow.
It's
1 to 4
happening.
now?
1 to 4 now.
Okay.
1 to 4 now.
How about the 4-hour JCS?
No, that's never coming back. I don't
We
care
love
how
the
much they
4-hour
pay me.
JCS.
I'm not doing it. Not coming back for 4 hours. I can't believe I used to do that.
It was awesome.
It was
that
too
4th
long.
hour was just out of control.
It was usually crazy stuff. See, almost it happened right
We
there.
did, yep.
For Corey Clark, for Ira Chaffel,
And
be
Magic
well,
Legs.
everybody.
Magic
Good old
Legs in the
Magic Legs.
house.
We did it. Good job. Peace.